is good? What is going on? And what is cracking? I am Philly Foothills Fuego, and I am back in another episode of East Meets West, officially episode 15, with my guys here, AK Eagles of Eagles Uncensored, and my guy down below me, Vic 3. How you guys doing tonight? We definitely got some things to talk about, especially with with everything going on with this football team and just the dumpster fire that has really had gasoline poured on it. But before we really jump into that, how you guys doing? AK, my guy, how you doing, my brother?
What's going on, guys? I'm AK. I am fucked up, but I am here. How y'all doing?
Oh my god.
Yo, appreciate each and every one of you guys coming out tonight. You know who it is. I may fuss and cuss, but you can count on me and my content like the fucking city bus. And if you like the Wagyu, subscribe too. Surprised they even got that out. Go ahead, Vic.
Hey man, what's good, everybody? You know who it is? It's Vic 3 again, man. I think how you said I'm feeling. I think we're all in a stage of grief. Everyone's in their own different stages. We have denial. I think I'm at the stage right now. I'm at acceptance. I understand. I mean, like I'm cool. What's going on? This isn't the first time we've had a bad year. This probably won't be the last. You know what I mean? I've been here a long time. I'm at that acceptance stage. We're gonna talk about it tonight. I mean, that's why you don't really see an upset face. You don't see me that passionate. I'm cool. I know where we're at. Especially after you see the way our coach looked today after that press conference. I got nothing to do but laugh.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about that because that was very interesting. I thought his what he compared to this football team to a flower.
Listen, I never knew that our coach was such a green thumb, a gardener of men. You know what I mean?
Wait. He
You
fucking
didn't
what?
hear? Oh, you didn't hear what happened today on the press conference?
He fucking what?
Oh my! I
Breaking
forgot
news.
what the
Breaking
original
news.
question was. I think it may have been had to do something with development. I can't remember because his answer took so long and he went off. I'm pretty sure he got up with your guy before he got on that press conference.
What about a flower though?
It was the way he says I guess you develop players. He equated it to how do you take care of flowers and you what was it? You water them all the time. You watch them grow. You try to take care of them. You see them blossom. But it was ridiculous. I can't even like match what he was saying.
It was crazy. I'm trying to pull up an article that has it.
I sent it in the chat. I sent it to all of you.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we should cut it up.
Bro, it was my day off. I was kind of living a little bit, if you get what I
Oh
mean.
no,
So I was
please.
not focused on the chat whatsoever. so I,
Yeah, it was hilarious though. Was it Pat McAfee? Yo, roasted him today. Him and his crew just annihilated Sirianni today. And even joking about it, like this is his first and last year. They were even saying like how can he get another job?
Yeah, I mean, Nick Sirianni, this is already according to to Jeff Mosher's Twitter. He said Nick Sirianni emphasizes growth under the soil, quote unquote. Said he was using a picture of a flower to explain to his young players that there's a process going on, even in tough times. Everyone is everyone in the building is fertilizer and water to make the roots blossom into a flower.
So everybody's shit. Let's start off right there. Everybody's shit.
Read between the lines, absolutely. I mean, yeah. Right?
But did you hear the comment he made about the receivers and how they were young, they were inexperienced and getting on their way, and how they need to fight at the point of attack? He basically was just shitting on the receivers for a little bit. Like, I don't know if he realized what he was doing. Like, he was talking so much about what goes on, behind closed doors. A lot of coaches, you never hear that. That's why it's so shocking. Again, it's one thing to try to like, mention some things that happens with the team, but just to go out and blatantly just talk about everything you're saying with the team, and especially if that's what you said to the team, I could understand why they had that reaction on Sunday.
Bro, he needs to lay off the fucking acid.
It's like I don't know. I don't want to say like he likes hearing himself a lot, but it's a cliche thing to say like he's the smartest guy in the room, but it's like that. And then when he gets questioned, you can see him, he gets nervous and he just keeps on blabbering on. There's a point where you just gotta shut up. Give a quick
Fuck can you
answer,
compare
quick response,
developing a
keep it
football
pushing.
player to a goddamn flower? What the
He,
fuck are
he's
we doing?
he's a gardener of men, like I like to say. That's what Nick Sirianni is, a gardener of men.
Or was he trying to? Or again? Are we trying? Are we supposed to read between the lines? Was he talking about Gardner Minshew?
Oh,
No, I was just about to
he
say
did
that.
mention him though. He did
Gardner of
mention him.
men. That's why they went and got Gardner Minshew, because he's
Right.
another gardener. And
Exactly.
two gardeners don't make a
Gardner.
right.
Gardner, garden, flower. It's all tied together. Yeah.
The one thing I didn't like when they mentioned Gardner Minshew is how he acted. If anyone knows what happened, the process during that draft when Gardner was drafted, Sirianni was one of the only guys to even visit him or even have a workout with him, and he did it multiple times. So Sirianni was pretty close to Minshew, but when they referenced it, he was like, "Oh, Howie just asked me. We watched some tape." Like he didn't know him. They've had private conversations even after the fact he was drafted. They were texting back and forth. So for him to act like he didn't know who Gardner Minshew was or didn't know anything about his game was crazy. It's like, why are you hiding that? We all know you met up with him. We all know the conversations. When he got signed, you were all talking about it. He himself talked about his relationship with Gardner, but now he made it seem like there wasn't one.
Right. It's you already had the fan base was already split on Jalen Hurts to begin with, so now this is only going to intensify that, especially with the trade of Joe Flacco, and now you have a very capable backup behind Jalen. So, if the team's trying to win and this Hurts experiment ain't working, you're definitely going to hear a lot of cries for Gardner. That's for sure. You already have, but you're going to hear it more and more.
I really hope not, because he's not the answer. It's ridiculous to even bring him up. The guy is a backup quarterback. He's a backup for a reason. Granted, he's a capable backup quarterback. Like I said, he'll give you 3 good games, but for him to be a starter, that's too far.
Jalen Williams with this comment. I went to bed until I was 19. There's no shame in that.
Shake and bake.
Right? Birdman _951. What's going on, my guy? He said flower power. Yeah.
Like the memes that are going to come out of this are ridiculous.
Dude, no lie, you lost me as soon as you said flowers.
You're going to see.
I'm telling you, when you get a chance, just check out the chat. I sent the whole thing to you.
You're going to see.
I don't think I want to watch it.
You're going to see
no, you do. In your state, believe me, you do.
There's going to be hella weed memes with this.
Oh
with
my
the
God.
flower. Yeah. Hella weed memes.
If you ever even look at Nick Sirianni, you already seen he has like that glassy eye look. He already looks out of it.
Nah,
bro, so again, when you hear what he says, you think he ate something before. He took an edible or something.
To be us. He's not cool enough.
Should I try to pull it up and play it for us right now?
If like I said, I put it on. I don't know if you could clip it up real fast, but
probably can. Give me a second. AK is on cloud 11 right now.
Definitely.
Yeah, pretty much.
Try
trim the bushes, water the plants. Oh boy. Flowers when you're losing to the locker room. But shout out to the 8 live stream. We got 8 in here right now. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you for being here. What were we gonna say?
And you know what's crazy? Like we haven't even heard anything of it yet. Like tomorrow's when all that's gonna blow up. You're gonna see the articles. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah. And when he says Homer, he's I don't know if you guys have heard our comparison, but me and Birdman came up with it that Jeffrey Lurie is Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Howie Roseman, I should say Howie Lurie Roseman is Smithers, exactly, and Nick Sirianni is Homer freaking Simpson. It's the perfect comparison right now.
But the one thing I like
Homer can run this offense better than Nick Sirianni right now. I don't know.
Wasn't there an episode where he did coach a football team and make it to the Super Bowl? I think there was. In one of the earlier ones, that's like one of the ones that people predicted. He did take a team to the Super Bowl, the Duff Bowl. That's what it was called.
I think you're right. I want to
And
say
I think he quit the team during that Super Bowl to get with his family because he was in what was it, like he lost time with his family. It was a big issue. They tried to make sense out of the Simpsons at one point.
Well, they predicted Donald Trump becoming president. That was crazy.
Dude, they predicted so many things. It's freaky. Matt Groening, you're a fucking alien.
Right. Maybe he ate too many three-eyed fish.
Believe me. Hey, and you know what? That's another thing that came true. Three-eyed fish.
Yep. Sure did.
Y'all gotta stop.
Hey, look, AK's getting scared now. He's at that paranoid phase.
No, definitely not.
Jalen Williams said, I thought we would be in the same place we are in now, but this is not how I thought the team would be. Locker room is solid. Growth isn't being shown. And the systems on both sides of the ball are extremely flawed. I don't know if the locker room is solid. I don't know if I agree with that part because I think maybe I can't think of his name right now, but the ex fullback for the Seahawks that came out with that report in the offseason that said, that there was already questions about some of the players buying into Nick Sirianni's scheme, and I think maybe he was more correct than some people thought at the time, because right now I'm kind of feeling that this locker room, especially on the defensive side of the ball, is not buying into this football team right now because they're getting worse each week. They're not getting better; they're getting worse.
Well, the thing you have to look at is we're going up against Detroit this week. If we don't win that game, you're looking down the barrel of the Chargers. I believe it's the Broncos, and then you have the Saints. Now, the quarterback play on the offensive side of the ball, they all have question, except for the Chargers. Their defense, though, that's a different story. Their defense is what holds that team as much as they can.
Yeah, right now we don't have. We don't. As easy as their record looks, they're 0-7. They're definitely way better than the Lions are way better right now than their record indicates. That's for damn sure. They've been playing way more competitive ball than we have. And outside of one game this year, I think the one game they got blown out, I think it was a couple weeks ago. But outside of that, and they've played some pretty good teams. They've been very competitive. So they're definitely way more confident. Wouldn't you guys say so than us right now? Even though they're 0-7, they're
100%.
When teams look at us, they are getting confidence, especially when you look at, like I said, the 3 upcoming games. You're going to have the tandem of Williams and Gordon. When you have the Broncos, you have Alvin Kamara coming up, and then who else am I missing? You're going to have Austin Eckler. You know what I mean? What is the Chargers' bread and butter right now?
They're running the football.
The bread and butter is to run the ball.
Yeah.
What is our biggest deficiency right now?
I mean, everyone.
And
if they don't, if an opponent doesn't even have a run game right now, they're gonna if they see us next up on the schedule, they're gonna scrounge one up because they don't even need that good of one right now. All the team really needs to do is have a good game manager at quarterback to not turn the ball over, to maybe throw for 150 to 200 yards, a touchdown, and just game manage and let the run game do the rest. They really, Goff's not going to have to do anything special this weekend. He's really not, to beat us. Watch, he's not going to have to.
Well, with him, he might be the reason why they lose. But my thing is when I'm focused on the Chargers is you have a good run game and you have Justin Herbert who could pick this team apart. Like that might be a bad game for us, a very bad game for us.
Yeah.
Like the other two with Denver, we have a shot. You know what I mean? Because again, they have Teddy Bridgewater. That offense is struggling. On New Orleans side, yeah, their run game is good, but we're talking about Jameis Winston. He has more ups and downs than a roller coaster.
Yeah. Let's see. What was I going to say? And you said something just a second ago. I was trying to remember what you said, but just the fact that the recipe isn't that difficult to beat us right now. Run the ball, control the clock, and don't turn the ball over as much as possible. And you basically don't have to worry about a run game on defense to defend against, and just try to get some decent pressure on Jalen Hurts and bump and run. They're really a lot of these defenses are playing press coverage on us.
But when we went into the Raiders, we knew this is the thing I don't like. We knew what was going on. We knew they were going to cover 3 all day. And at first, Sirianni tried to balance that out. Yeah, we had, I think there was a 50-50 ratio with run pass in the first half. You know what I mean? So like he was doing what you needed to do, but again in the second half he deviated, and that's where the issues really came in. But again, it's like in the second half, especially in the third quarter, mid third quarter to fourth quarter, we're always playing comeback. And it looks like our team could be good, but it's only because we're playing, we're catching up. That's it. That's why it's so hard to figure out what's up with this team.
Right.
I'm going to say it as easy as I can. If you come in here and you play like trash and you lose this fucking game this weekend, everyone's being sold, at least in my eyes. Because listen, you tried this year to do a partial rebuild and see if you made it work, and it obviously did not. You will be 2-6. Now, when I say you sell, I'm not saying that I give up on this team, but you get what you can for your vets while you still can, and that's like Cox, maybe Johnson, Slay. All of them.
Big money.
Big money. McLeod, all of them. Get them out. Let these young guys play the rest of the year, get experience, see where you sit after that. You fire Howie, you fire Nick, and you completely rebuild this team. You have the cap, you have the ammunition in the draft. You can still make it work in 2 or 3 years, but I would rather completely gut this team and start fresh if we lose this weekend. Because if you lose to the Lions, you're just I don't know. It's just bad.
Can I ask a question? What if at the end of the season we do a house cleaning where we get rid of Howie, we make a move on from Jalen, but we don't move on from our coaching staff? Would you be okay with that, giving them a second chance? Because, like I said,
I'm going to have to see some vast improvement in the play calling on both sides of the ball. And I'm going to I was happy to see, at least at the beginning of the game, them try to get Jalen under center and made some adjustments on the offensive side of the ball, because that's what Jalen needs. But on defense, we just continue to play a very, very vanilla defense. And we're not making any kind of adjustments. So it's just
no.
Go ahead, AK.
No.
Even if they make a change with the defensive staff?
After what just came, no, you're fucking done. I'm sorry.
You're just done with Sirianni altogether.
You're done. All right, because after the reports that came out, the reason that we didn't get the ball, the Bills offensive coordinator, when we requested for him, they canceled because of Howie. Because we didn't get the Chargers guy, because they canceled because of Howie. If Howie's fucking gone, that means you have a better option of getting a better fucking head coach. And maybe you get the Bills offensive coordinator who would want to come here then if you switch that out. So fuck no. Fuck Nick and everything he brings to this team. Fuck that little.
Listen, no. I'm not hating. I'm a Brian Dable fan. I wanted him before when they hired him. I didn't know that until recently about Nick, Dable not wanting to come over. I knew with other coaches they didn't want. I didn't know that was his reasoning specifically. But like if it worked out that way, that'd be great.
Let me put it this way, man. I'm at the point in my life at 33 years old watching this team from the time I was a little kid, being real shitty. Yeah, we've had great years in there. We won the Super Bowl in 2017. But all in all, I got to say, there's a lot of fucking down memories in there. And I think we all can admit that. And, I'm just at the point where I'm tired of hopes and I want definite. Like for instance, we were talking on the phone the other night. You took JJ over DK, okay? Because you hoped that JJ would turn out to be what you thought you saw him being, instead of taking the definite in DK. You hoped Jalen Reagor can be exactly what you think he's going to be, instead of taking the definite in Justin Jefferson. I'm tired of hopes. We're all tired of hopes. I want a guy in here. I'm tired of cutting people slack, because every time we cut slack, we always just get walked on or slapped in the face. And I'm fucking tired of it. I want fucking answers. That is what I want. And you got to fire these guys, get the right guys in there that will get you the fucking definites and not fucking hopes. That's how you win. By sticking to what we talked about the other night, sticking to your draft board, best player available. Do it fucking smart and do it by need. Don't do it by wants. That is what I'm talking about. And that's the type of manager that we need. And Howie is not that guy. So he's got to fucking go.
So let me give you. You said no way on Sirianni, but let me give you this scenario, AK. You got to decide between who gets the axe, Sirianni or Roseman. Who are you choosing?
That's not fair. You can't ask.
It's a simple one though.
No, I know it's simple. It's obviously simple, but that's not fair.
Well, this is my thing with
you can't keep a guy a second year who doesn't run the fucking ball. I mean, that is the main concept of football. It's the easiest concept in football, and he doesn't do it. You can't keep a guy like that. I'm sorry. You fucking can't.
My only issue with getting rid of Sirianni is, what if you don't get the guy you want? Because it's happened to us multiple times. It happened to us this season. Sirianni wasn't the original choice. Do you want to go down a road where, the Cleveland Browns have been? Do you want to go down the road where the 49ers have been in the early
next year?
What was that?
I said, yeah, but I sure don't want to go down this fucking road next year either.
Yeah, but the thing is, would we? We don't have that definitive answer if that will happen or not. Again, the same way people are saying, you got to give Hurts a chance. Again, Sirianni is a first timer. Maybe he does make a move.
My opinion, and I told you.
Oh, I know that, but that's what I'm just saying. That's my thing. What I think is my fear with getting rid of Sirianni so soon is that then you're left in a void of who's the next coach. And then if you're drawing at straws again, what if you make another bad decision? And then literally, like you said, we're in the same position next year.
Yeah, but there's always coaches out there, man. There's always someone available. And that's the thing. Losing someone who doesn't run the football isn't going to hurt you that much. I hate, sadly to say.
He did try though. There was some exotic running schemes that he had, but again, he didn't stick with it. Again, like I said, he tried. You've seen that he heard. He got the message. He just didn't stick with it.
And that's the whole thing. The very first drive, you did perfect. You got him down there, you scored the touchdown, and then you completely went away from what worked. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's frustrating. Okay, you've been doing this. It's not like you're new to the fucking game. You've coached. You've coached under Frank Wright. You know this shit. You supposedly have been bred for it. It's in your family genes. It's what your family does. Then you have no excuse to make these fucking mistakes. Because it's the most obvious and plain and simple fucking mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have this whole excessive background that this man has and then come in and make the easiest mistake there is to make, which is not run the ball. I mean, this is what you're bred to do, and then you completely come in and just fuck it up. Like, you're either going to sit there and tell me that there is some big-ass conspiracy and that this is happening this way, or this guy just plain fucking sucks and doesn't know what he's doing. And that's why you move on. I'm not willing to take a second chance on this. Hell no. You know what? Because you can probably bring up a college coach who will be coaching better than what he is right now.
Well, that was going to lead me to my next question for both of you. If we were to move on from Nick Sirianni, would you prefer, again, another first-time coach or an experienced NFL coach?
All depends on who it is.
Yeah, I would probably lean towards somebody with NFL experience, at least who's been in the league for a bit. Somebody that has head coaching experience.
I mean, if you'd come at me and you'd say Duke Riley, I might give that man a
Lincoln
shot.
Riley?
Or Lincoln Riley, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
See what
Lincoln
he
Riley.
see what he can do.
I might give that a shot. And that's just a hypothetical. I'm just throwing a name out there that everyone knows. But if it's just some sort of D3, someone you don't know really much about, then probably not. Yeah, probably not. But like I told you though, I love Lovie Smith. I think Lovie Smith is an awesome defensive coach, and he can bring in an offensive coordinator and just let him run the offense, and he can focus on the defense. I like Todd Bowles, from Tampa Bay.
Yes.
I would like a defensive head coach for once instead of all offense. I want to switch it up a little bit. Let's try it. What would hurt? What's the issue of changing it for once? Because it seems like right now we can't get it right this way. So do what you're doing. Do opposite of what you're doing now, and see if it works. I don't fucking know.
Well, the only way you can do the opposite of what you're doing now is getting rid of everyone you have. Because with Howie, it's always going to stay the same because we stay by the book of Andy. We stay by that book of Andy. We're picking an offensive-minded coach. It's not going to go defense. And I don't know, like at this point now, like I like the idea of having a defensive-minded coach because usually when you look at it now, those are the teams that are flourishing because just like you said, they do leave their offensive coordinator alone. McDermott, he entrusted Brian Dable with the offense, and they're going well right now. It wouldn't hurt to try right now because again, we've repeatedly tried with offensive coordinator. Again, I don't care if it's offensive or defensive. I want the most qualified person to have the job. Literally, that's what I want. But again, if you would have a type like that, a defensive-minded coach, who for us, that's our main focus. We should be focused on our defense. We have a good offensive core. If someone can come in here and, coach them up right, put them literally in the best positions like we're always promised, I wouldn't see a problem with that.
Well, and I mean, you got to look at it this way. I think back to whenever McVay had his first year with the Rams, when he had Jimmy Johnson as his defensive coordinator. Whenever the defense was up, dude, McVay was sitting on the bleachers there, on the bench, writing up plays and talking with his offense. He wasn't even focused on the field. He knew that he could handle it, and that's what I'm saying. If we had a defensive head coach like Lovie Smith or Todd Bowles, when the defensive is up, he can be back there. He can be doing his thing, and you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Foothills, I think you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted, buddy.
You're muted.
My bad. Yeah, that would be interesting because then maybe we would actually start focusing on the linebacker position. Maybe we'd actually draft a linebacker if we had a defensive-minded coach. A linebacker that could actually be an impact player. Maybe we could actually get someone someone of a TJ Watt type of level. Someone of just a game-changing type of guy.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah, that could be definitely.
Kyle Hamilton, who, listen, I said right now, like Kayvon is the dream pick for me, but Kyle Hamilton is the most logical, and that's the one we need right now. We have so much going on with our safety position. I understand, linebacker and defensive line, but guess what? We don't know what's going to happen with Rodney McLeod. We don't know what's going to happen to Anthony Harris. We've already seen what happened with Marcus Epps. We've already seen what happened with Kayvon Wallace. Safety is a need, but we need to be serious about that. If you're asking me right now, if Thibodeau's gone, Hamilton's our first pick.
Bro,
We're
no
focused
lie,
on
man.
defense. We need to lock it up.
I will not lie about this. I would rather, over the next 5 years, build one of the most deadliest defenses the NFL has ever seen and just have a mediocre offense, you know? And because here's the thing, defenses win Super Bowls, man. We all know this. They do. You know, you can win the Super Bowl with a decent offense. But if you have that defense, that one no one can stop, you win every freaking time.
You want to know why? You want to know why defenses win Super Bowls? It's because defenses keep you in the game. Your offense can make mistakes, but if your defense is constantly keeping you in the game, you always have a chance to win.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And
I want to get back to the early 2000 defense. You know, Trotter.
Could you imagine if we had 3 stud linebackers, like legit stud linebackers?
I would love that.
Remember the days of like you said, Trotter, Carlos Edmonds. I mean, just the really good linebackers that we've had over the years. The even
Thomas's.
Yeah. Even what was his Jones?
Hicks.
What was it? Dante. I'm trying to think. It was a D.
Oh yeah, Damani
Jones.
Yeah. Damani Jones. He was cool as hell too from the Bengals. We got him from the Bengals. He was awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have to start valuing that position again because you're seeing it right now. That's basically a ghost position for us. They're a lot of wasted positioning in the middle of the field right now. Just they're not stopping the run. They're not covering. They're not bringing any pressure. I mean, what the hell are they? What are we paying them for? You know, they might as well just put all defensive backs out there the way they're running the ball against us right now. You might as well just put in no linebackers, freaking bench them all. Just put them all. Just put in an extra, maybe put in an extra defensive lineman, and have the rest of them be defensive backs because they're gonna stop the run just as well as these linebackers are right now, and they're gonna cover the pass better. So you might as well do that because this linebacking position right now is absolutely dreadful. It is overwhelmingly, glaringly our weakest spot on this team. Overwhelmingly. And like I said earlier, opposing teams, they are licking their chops to run the ball down our throat because that's all they need to do.
Yeah. Listen, when we started off the season with 5 middle linebackers, we should have knew there was issue. Right there.
Facts.
We literally have 5 middle linebackers on our squad. And they're Eric Wilson. Wasn't he supposed to be the jack of all trades, master of none? He's just nothing right now. It's a joke. It really is. Like they hyped up that signing. We all hyped up that signing. We were giving out stats on he was one of the best tacklers. Look at Singleton. He's leading the team in sacks, and it's not in a good way. In tackles, it's not in a good way because he's constantly getting battered all around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, saying Singleton is. I'm so done with him. I'm tired.
I think he's a great special teamer.
Yeah,
you know he gets the job done. Stuff.
Sure,
that's what he is.
Yeah.
If I see that motherfucker smile one more time while we're getting our asses kicked, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
Dude, after the game, the smile on his face and like the way he's talking to all the players, you just got the shit beat out of you. There's no reason why you should be smiling and like talking to the guys who just plowed you over for 60 minutes. Like it's wild.
He was probably talking about he's probably talking about meeting up on the strip later on, you know, because they were in Vegas. He was probably talking about that before I don't know if they bounced out that night, but maybe he was talking about, or maybe they had already partied together or something. I don't know. But yeah, there was
definitely not allowed them to stay there. You're not gonna. If they would have won, they probably could have stayed over. They lost. They had to go. They got to go right back home right after the game.
Yep.
I'm not trying to reward anyone.
What would your guys' reaction going to be if Goff is out playing Hurts at halftime and we're losing?
I can see it. I honestly can see it. Goff has had a decent year. Yeah, he's made a lot of mistakes. That's Jared Goff, but he's played better than what he's played with the Rams.
Yeah,
like he's part of the reason why they stayed in games. Even though like they're what is it 0-7 if I'm not mistaken? They didn't get a bye week. They're 0-7.
Yep.
But again,
Swift is going off too, man.
Oh my God,
Swift is a fucking beast.
When you got what's the tight end name? I always mess it up.
Hawkinson.
Hawkinson. Yeah, I say Hawkinson. Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah.
He's good
AK,
too.
what do you think? What's your reaction going to be? You want me to use the sound effects to explain mine here? Or let me do mine.
What?
Well, yeah, that would definitely be part of it.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man, I can see it, like truly, because you can tell the Lions play with grit. You know, they have balls, which we do
Their head
not.
coach was talking about biting people's kneecaps off. Of course they do.
Yeah,
You're coming in with big set of cojones right there.
yeah.
And
You know,
he's a
so
beast.
They're the best.
it's one of those things.
One of the
This
best.
could get ugly,
One of the best 0-7 teams that I've seen in a while. That's for
right?
sure. Yeah.
And the only reason they're 0-7 is because everyone they faced is pretty fucking good so far.
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
they really have played some really good teams, and they've been in damn near every game. So, you know, in all honesty, they're probably just as good as them, which means we're probably going to get fucked up. I won't lie. You know,
things aren't going to change
Swift-
overnight. You know, our personnel is not going to change enough to
no.
be able to stop the run. You know, I don't know what they're going to how they're going to game plan for this, but I see more of the same coming. I do.
Can I got a big ass fucking prediction for you. Hot take.
Go ahead.
Swift gets over 200 yards on our defense.
Oh.
I don't think. I think it's going to be the opposite.
Get out the
I think that they're not going to respect the Lions passing, and they're going to focus on the run. And Goff is going to go off on us. I'm dead serious. I have a feeling like we're going to focus on the run, and Goff is going to go off on us. Again, I hope that doesn't happen, but I have a feeling.
It's crazy because
don't shoot me for saying this, but I'm not that worried about their wide receiver core. I mean, anyone can pop off at any time. I realize that, but I mean, Slay and Nelson have been doing pretty good, and Maddox has been, you know, pretty decent actually for being in the slot this year. So it's not like they got Calvin Johnson anymore. So I mean, yeah, they are there. We do have to be aware of them, but I mean, if you can stop Swift though and take him out, I believe you have a way better chance of winning. To be honest, Swift is going to be the reason why we lose. I'm telling you right now, that kid, if he pops off, we're fucked.
Yeah, because he had? Let's look at his stats against the Rams.
He had 142 yards just the other week on someone.
Yep, he had more He had the big reception. He had 8 receptions for 96 yards and a touchdown against the Rams, and he had 13 attempts for 48 yards at 3.7 a clip. No touchdowns, but yeah, like you said, he's been playing pretty damn good this year. So they I don't think the Lions really have to game plan that hard to beat us right now. Like I said earlier, it's just the mere fact that, and it's crazy too, because not only are running backs fucking like literally hella eager to play against us right now, but quarterbacks have to do as well, because we're not bringing any pressure. They could sit back there and let the receivers run their routes. They can go through 1 progression, 2 second progression, maybe sip a little tea, go to their 3rd progression, you know, check Netflix real quick, maybe send an email, and then dump it off to the check down once they do that. You know, after they're done with that, it's no pressure at all being brought. It's just absolutely. This is one of the worst Eagles teams I've seen on both sides of the ball in a long time. Both sides of the ball, just the defense especially should be, the linebacking core especially, Fletcher Cox especially should be really a kind of ashamed of themselves at this point. And I think, like I said in the description, like I hashtag it, you know, our linebackers suck. They really need to be called out. We need to start calling out these linebackers because their play has to improve. If this team wants to get better, and these guys want to be on this team going forward, we need to see something. We need to see something from somebody, because we're not seeing anything right now. and Fletcher Cox is just sitting back right now. He's in cruise control. He's collecting a check. He's probably checking out some real estate, maybe in like, I don't know, Cincinnati, maybe in LA. I mean, could you imagine him next to Aaron Donald? Could you imagine him? That's crazy, right? So, like you guys said earlier, if we lose on Sunday to the 0-7 Detroit Lions, some heads are gonna roll definitely, and some big moves are gonna be ahead of us real quickly here.
Well, when you said before how they don't have to do much against us, I guarantee you, there's one man in Detroit right now trying to do his damnedest to draw for the best running plays he can and do Staley. He's gonna try to fucking give it to us. That run game is gonna come to attack. You know what I mean? He's gonna get those guys ready. He wants to show everybody the reason why he should not have been the coach. I mean, why he should have stayed. Again, I wasn't big on Deuce, and I'm not. I'm still not. I see what they do in Detroit. Swift is going decently. I'm not going to equate all that to him. You got to put that on the player. But I guarantee you, they're going to come with their A game because again, Deuce felt slighted. You can't deny that. When he left this team, he left this city, he felt slighted by the organization. And I guarantee you, he's going to put pen to paper, and he's going to drop some schemes. He's going to get out there. So we're gonna have to put our best foot forward against Detroit. They're coming to play.
Facts. Yeah, you're definitely right about that, Vic. Definitely. And these are some good comments from Jalen here. He said we should have cleaned house last year. I mean, that's a good.
Yes.
All of our best and highest played players are 30 plus now, top 5 in pay. Keep that cat room until you get a young established core on rookie deals. Yeah, and he's like, I don't want this rebuild done quickly. I want this rebuild done right. And that's very well done. Very well said.
That's why I said 2 to 3 years, man.
But Jalen, what are you saying? Are you saying we're on a rebuild now, or are we saying next year starts to rebuild? Because if we're getting rid of everybody, that's when you start your rebuild. If we're doing the rebuild now, who are we getting rid of?
If we lose to Detroit, yeah, you're going to see more than likely. I think you're going to. Someone could come a calling.
Cox and Slay are both going to go first, I believe. They'll be the first 2 to go.
I think so. I think there's a good possibility of that as well.
You just got to look at when you're looking at the cap, who makes the most. That's who goes. It does. You know what I mean? It isn't anything arbitrary. There's nothing personal. It's who makes the most got to go.
I wish Kyle Shanahan would get fired. The 49ers would be absolutely stupid if they fired Kyle Shanahan.
Joe Brady just got reprimanded last week by Matt Rule. He told him he got to do better. I don't know if Joe Brady's the guy. Look at Carolina. They started off hot, but look at them now. I think he's a great offensive coordinator, but again, you can't put those offensive coordinator or defensive coordinators into that coaching talk too fast. Yeah, they might have a good season, but let them have a career as an offensive coordinator. Like Bruce Arians is a perfect example. He kept on getting turned over for jobs, and look where he's at right now. It took for a coach in Chuck Pagano. It's sad enough. He had cancer and was out for the season. If it wasn't for that, Bruce Arians would never be a coach. He would constantly be looked over. Like I want someone like that. If we're going after an offensive corner, I want someone who's been an offensive corner for years, who has experience.
Okay,
I don't want a flashy pan guy.
I gotta ask you a question. Would you? And I'm only throwing this name out there because he is a coach. Now he's not. Now he is famous, but he just started. Would you take primetime?
Deion, hell no. And he could be. Now I would take him on my coaching staff. I would take him on my coaching staff by all means. I would put him on my staff. Like dead serious. If you want, you look at if Detroit was to move on. If we were to move on from both our coaches, I would want Dan Campbell as my tight ends coach. I want passionate coaches. I want guys who are going to come in with this player and they're going to have an understanding between each other. I want communication between, the whole coaching staff. I want guys with experience. Deion is an experienced head coach. I would love for Deion to be on there. Who wouldn't want Deion Sanders as your defensive back coach? You know how wild that would be?
Right?
You know what I mean? I would love it. Again, I would want a tight ends coach in Dan Campbell. That would be amazing. But as for Deion to be a head coach right now, no. He's not ready yet.
That's why I asked. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah, if Dion was our DB's coach, oh my God,
Right? I'd do that.
it'd be
For sure.
ridiculous.
In a heartbeat.
I would be more like I would like to. I would be very interested in this name. And what do you guys think about this? Because he's done some good things since returning to coaching, going back to college. But that would be Herman Edwards, former Eagle. What do you think? What do you got? He's done some pretty good things at Arizona State.
Yeah, but Arizona State still ain't winning nothing. They still ain't winning. It's harder. The college game is way harder because it's all about recruiting. College is different than the NFL. When you're in college, it's all about recruiting and the players you can get. Now, when you see people like Lincoln Riley, yeah, he's a great coach, but you got to look at also the guys that he's getting. You know what I mean? He's getting runoffs from Alabama. You know what I mean? Like all other coaches don't get that. You don't get the guy who just fell down out of an awesome tree. Just come because he knows what you could do. When you get into the coaching, like Brian Kelly, I know Jordy must be going crazy right now when I mention it. Brian Kelly's a guy I would look at as an offensive as a head coach because I've seen what he can do in Notre Dame. Notre Dame is one of the toughest colleges to be a head coach at because of the standards they have for their players. You know what I mean? Like they basically take that recruiting out of it. Anyone who coaches Notre Dame, if Notre Dame's a good team, that's because your coach is a great coach. And I feel like, that would be the only college coach I can think of right now. All those other names that people usually mention, I wouldn't even bother with. Brian Kelly's
I don't know. I don't know if we could do another Kelly again right now, though, man.
But you know what? And I've said this before. Before we got Chip Kelly, Brian Kelly was one of the guys in the mix. At that time I preferred him too.
Yeah.
Him and what was I think McDaniels, if I'm mistaken, was up for it too.
Yeah, heads are definitely going to roll if we lose. Shout out to Backyard Birds podcast for that comment and for joining the podcast. We appreciate you.
But what if they don't? What if they don't? What if Lurie is satisfied with giving everybody another shot?
Then you're just going to see this fan base get more and more pissed off, and we're going to keep making noise until he hears it. Because that's what we got to do.
Then we need to just start a petition and try to
Papa Sore for GM,
impeach him from ownership for mental.
We get everybody from Florida.
Instability.
Yeah, but that's what I mentioned before. What was it, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago when I was like, the only way a move will be made is if it gets Jeffrey Lurie's attention. The only way it's going to get to Jeffrey Lurie's attention is if the national media is talking about it. The way they did with Doug, they made Doug look like an idiot. He was the gag for how many shows on ESPN. If that happens with Sirianni, which, listen, he's given them more material than needed. Again, this past press conference that he had today, it's setting him up for failure. Like, there's going to be so many jokes behind this. Again, if it gets to the attention of Jeffrey Lurie, then that's when he shows face. But until then, he doesn't care. He'll be in his Hollywood mansion chilling.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is Lurie going to have? That's what I'm worried about right now. If we end up having 3 first-round picks, I don't think Lurie's going to have the cojones to fire Howie. No matter how we finish, we can go 2-15 right now, and I don't think he still might not fire him just for the mere fact that he's gonna have to entrust a new guy with all this, with all the cap space, with all the draft picks, everything. So I don't know. It's scary.
A lot of people forget that the time that we had Joe Banner, and Joe Banner was our GM. Now, what they don't remember is Jeffrey Lurie was the guy who picked Howie Roseman to basically be an apprentice to Joe Banner. Howie, that's the way it used to work. Howie learned under Joe. That's where he got his cap shrewdness from. That's how he learned. But this is something that Jeffrey Lurie put into motion. He's the one who basically took Howie and put him into school on how to become a GM. That's Lurie's guy. So for him to part with him, it's going to have to be really serious.
It is really serious. And that's the thing. I'm just hoping that he just hit the point in his life and in his career where Jeff can just sit back and look and be like, it's nothing against him. We had our run. but enough of losing. I'm tired of losing. I mean, when he bought us, he wanted to make this a winning organization. Well, right now, that's not happening under Howie.
But
So
who was the guy that got him the trophy? That's what I'm saying. Like, again, I hope it doesn't happen, but their relationship is ridiculous. It's too strong. I don't think they move on from Howie.
Yeah, because their bond goes beyond business. Their bond goes very far back. And it goes into even like, they're very close. They're in the same. They're both Jewish. They're the same religion. So I'm sure they probably attend the same synagogue. When they go to, to celebrate their religion, things like that. So it's definitely going to be it's going to be like firing a son for him. So what do you guys think? If looking at the rest of the schedule right now, we got 10 games left. We've only won 2. We only won 4 games last year. Are we winning more games this year than last year? What do you guys think? If you guys had to look in your crystal ball, if you don't know the rest of the schedule, I could tell you. I can run it down.
Go for it.
So after this weekend in Detroit, we are home against the LA Chargers, and then we go to Denver the next week after that. The next week after that, we are home to New Orleans, and then the following week we are in New Jersey, which is it's an away game, but they can still sleep in their own beds and things like that. Against the New York Giants, again we're in Jersey the next week at Get a Life Stadium against the Jets. Then it's our bye, and then we have the football team at home. Then we're still home against the Giants. Second to last game of the year is at the Washington football team, and then we end the year week 18 home against the Cowboys. So what do you guys think? We winning more than 2 more games this year?
Possibly. You might get 2. All depends on how you play against the fucking Jets and the Giants. You could possibly walk away with 3. But like I said, it all depends on how you play. If you go in there playing the way we played last week in the first 7 weeks, ain't happening.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the top of the show, we have a little gamut to go through when we have those next 3 games. Even though the quarterback play, there's some questions on 2 of the teams. Their defenses are still good. And my thinking is, if we don't win a game and we lose against the Giants, then against the Jets, I guarantee you that would be the straw that broke the camel's back. Losing those 2 games back to back against 2 of the worst teams, it really shows where you're at, especially that far in the season.
Yeah. That's
now. Do we win another game? I hope we can eke one out. The first one against the Giants. Like, it's ridiculous to say that we hope we can beat the Giants. And it has nothing for me, it has nothing to do with our players. It has everything to do with our coach. I have no confidence in him. I have confidence in the players, even in Jalen Hurts.
And yet,
you know what I mean? Like, as bad as he's playing.
Year?
What was that?
And yet you want to give him a second year?
No. The only reason why I said that is because I don't want to go down that road of we're constantly getting a coach every year. Like, I don't want to be like the Oakland Raiders.
I understand that, but I'd rather just cut the fucking ties like right now, just chop the fucking head off and move on instead of just waiting too long to make the correction. You know what I mean?
TV personalities are TV personalities for a reason. Look at John Gruden. How'd that end up? Look at Mike Mayock. How'd that end up? I'm gonna keep on all those names.
Not in that boat.
I think.
Yeah, Matt Millen.
I wouldn't be that. That dissuade to have Louis Riddick as our GM. I think I would give him a shot.
I like the second in command in Cleveland. I forgot his name because it's insanely long, but he's under Andrew Berry, a guy that we should have never gave up on. and who's doing a great job in Cleveland.
Oh, the general's in the building. Yo, that.
Salute to you.
What's going on?
Salute to you, gentlemen.
Philly Fresh. Appreciate you being here. Salute to you.
Appreciate it.
Definitely, if you guys don't know who he is, you're in the live stream right now. We got 6 people in here, so definitely thank you guys for being here. Make sure you guys go check out his channel. Definitely go sub him up. Go let him know that the East Meets West podcast sent you. Definitely, and
Go buy some merch.
I was about to say, check out that merch. Yo, get that Philly Fresh merch. Get your bucket caps. Get your baseball caps. Get your hoodies. You got it all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was wondering if you were wearing the sweater. I didn't know.
No, I got my Nike one right now, but yeah, I got the Philly Fresh always. Like I said, I always rock, the content creators wear for game day. You'll always catch me on game day rocking out at Joe Castro's. I got Philly Fresh out there. Like I always rock it.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you a question then. You're into clean house, clean everything. Are we even going into the quarterback? Are we moving on?
That's the thing. I said it last week, and I still stand by what I say. We all knew Jalen Hurts was a project coming in. Everyone knew that. He's something you have to develop. You have to give it time. You have to be patient. This isn't something that's going to come overnight. This isn't something, it'll probably take till the end of this year, beginning of next year for him to take that step. Because like I said, he's had 5 different offenses in the last 5 years. He's had to learn them all. He's never really got the focus on himself. I believe if you give this kid a second year, let him come in next year and learn. Well, now that he's already had the full off season this year, once it's done, he can go out and he can train, get himself a little better, because Lamar Jackson, he's just now starting to come out. It's now taken him this long. And I kind of put Hurts in that category. First couple of years with Lamar, everyone was saying, oh, he can only run. His arm isn't that good. Well, I think he's kind of shutting everyone up right now with it. So
Yeah.
I believe you got to put Jalen in that category. Russ, his first 2 years, Russell Wilson, he didn't have the greatest arm. He developed that over the years, So it's iffy, but you have to look at the quarterback group coming out, and you have to look at these guys and say, are any of them 100% a yes? If none of them are 100% guarantee you can put your foot down and say, yes, he can be a franchise guy, then no, man, you stick with Hurts. But I believe you stick with him anyway because his demeanor, determination, how he looks at the game, and how he takes account of everything that he does wrong, he has no ceiling, man. He can only improve as much as he wants because he has that dedication to learn.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. Why are Seattle and why are the Saints in
If you
Seattle
make
on
me
that
say
list?
that
That's
all
what I was
over,
about to say. I will take any as much as I
everyone else
don't.
is justified.
I
Not
love Sean Payton, and as much as I hate Pete Carroll, I would take him in a second in Philadelphia. As consistently as the Seahawks have been in the playoffs, as good as that team as well managed as they've been, he's been through some ups and downs with them. And I would definitely want Sean Payton over him, but I would take either one of them in a second. And I don't know why.
Talk junk about Sean Payton now, but next year when he gets Aaron Rodgers, ain't no one gonna say nothing.
Yeah, I mean Aaron Rodgers. That would be
interesting.
That's the team that's set up.
That's a very interesting list right there.
I said Cleveland and New Orleans. Those are the 2 teams that are set up for him. He can compete against Brady, which is something that he wanted to do. Remember, he said it. He wanted to play Brady. That was one of the things that he wanted to do. One of the regrets he didn't get to play him that much. Now you're in the same division.
I believe the Raiders are going to stick with their interim head coach that they have right now.
Too. Yeah.
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think they're going to hire him as the next head coach of the Raiders. He's doing a pretty good job right now.
He looks very confident too. He looks. I mean, Sirianni got that. That should be embarrassing. He got outcoached by a special teams coach who just took over the team a week prior. So
Now he did have experience before this, I believe, right?
Yep.
He was a head coach before.
Where?
I don't know if he was the head coach, but that kind of leads
or
to
an
what I was
offensive
saying.
coordinator or something, whatever.
Yeah,
I have to look at his credentials. I don't know.
but
Yeah,
that
like
leads to what I was
he
saying.
has been higher up previously,
Okay.
I would rather have a coordinator with experience than just having a flash in the pan 2-year guy who people think that the offense is built around him. That's the difference. That's a coach who's experienced, who's been around the game, who knows how to run a team because he's been around those guys. You know what I mean? Instead of getting a guy who's been under Frank for what, 3 years, 2 years, and apparently we're talking about how he was the one calling the offense. He wasn't. He was drawing up schemes. Not that great because you can see it. You can see the difference with what's going on in Indianapolis right now. Jonathan Taylor, they are running the ball effectively with him now. Last year was a toss between Naeem Hines and him. There's no issue now. Even with their defense, when you look at it, with the loss of Gannon, you would think there would be a hiccup. There isn't. Their defense, their backs because of depleted and injuries. That's the only issue. If it wasn't for that, you still look at that defense as a whole. It's still working on all cylinders. I think it's still top 10.
He was previously an assistant coach for the Cowboys, the Chargers, and the Buccaneers.
Yeah, so he's been around.
Yeah.
He's a seasoned coach.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I gotta ask a question. And I know this is probably the biggest long fucking shot in the world, but would you guys take Mike Tomlin?
Oh my God, if that would happen, I would love Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand. I think
no. Listen, the only
Tomlin's the
reason that I say that might be possible in the next couple of years is
Mike
because
Tomlin's a defensive
they
guy.
usually only last 30 years before Pittsburgh gets rid of them, and Mike's already on his 20 something.
He's been.
No.
I think he's
17.
I think he's 17 years in. I think him and
17
Andy
or still.
are tied for 17 years.
Well, still, he's been in a long time, so I would not be surprised within the next couple of years if they do a coaching change pretty soon. And it might be this year. It all depends on how this year goes for him. And if that would happen, I would not mind Mike Tomlin coming to
No, I think
That'd be an easy
Mike
move for him
Tomlin.
too. Just move over to the other side of Pennsylvania.
Mike Tomlin's going to be I forgot when to say Chuck Noll, but he's not Chuck Noll. The guy from the Cowboys, the hat. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name right now.
Oh, Tom Landry.
He's going to be like a Tom Landry. He's going to be a Steeler career coach. That man's going to be 75 years old still on those sidelines.
That would be interesting. What if we got Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson? That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Pete Carroll, I would like Pete Carroll because he's a great players coach. He still got it. You know what I mean? The guy is super animated on the sidelines. You know what I mean? He can't tell that his age. I think he's the oldest coach in the NFL right now. But I don't know what would be the issue with why would they get rid of him?
Right.
It's injuries. That's their issue right now.
And just because he hasn't been getting it done lately, I mean, they've been relevant. They get into the playoffs, but they're not going anywhere. They kind of stall out, I mean, that would be the only reason I could see it. And because it's probably going to be new. Well, it is new ownership now, right? Recently, since the passing of the guy. So they might want to change something soon. I don't know. I mean, it could be possible, but.
Well, not only that, but it's time to do it, right? If Russell Wilson moves on in the offseason, that's a perfect time to get a new coach, start a whole new regime. That coach could pick his quarterback on it, so on and so forth. So,
I would not be surprised if you saw Dougie P go there because it was, rumored that he was offered the offensive coordinator job there, over the offseason. But he turned it down because he said he wanted to sit out a year. So maybe they have interest.
Quarterback from the Seattle Seahawks next year.
That'd be crazy.
Gio made a great point with that comment how Pete Carroll made Russell a top tier. And he made him a top tier quarterback by allowing Russell to grow. You know what I mean? He let Russell do what he did. That Super Bowl loss, that was all on Russell Wilson because he wanted to pass. You can't put it on the offensive coordinator because Russell could have checked out of it. He wanted to pass the ball. He wanted to win that Super Bowl that way and not give Marshawn the ball.
Right.
Yeah. For better or worse, you know what I mean? Like that those were shots that Pete Carroll's allowing, Russell to take. And not a lot of coaches do that. That's a lot of trust you have in your quarterback. And the quarterback, all he's going to do is repay you. Repay you with good play and performance.
God, I hope not. Do not Do not let Sean Payton come to this division.
Nah,
Unless he's
Sean
coming
Payton's
here.
locked in New Orleans. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I don't think so either. I guess Richie MC said Matt Rule is rumored for the LSU job. We'll see about that. Papa Sor wants to know if we would take Kellen Moore despite being as our next head coach, despite being Cowboys offensive coordinator.
Nope. I don't want nothing to do with Kellen Moore. Again,
I don't think he'd get it anyway, because let's put it this way: if Howie would somehow end up staying, Kellen Moore won't be a puppet, so he ain't getting it.
Not even that. He's not experienced enough. Again, I want someone experienced.
Got you. I agree. I think so too. I don't think he's ready. He's doing some good things. He's showing some great play calling ability and things like that. But he's definitely got to put in the he's got to get the he doesn't you don't want to when you're a young kid like that, up and coming coach, you don't want to put the cart before the horse, because that could really make things a lot tougher for you in the long run. So he just needs to be patient and not make it. It'll come to him. I'm sure it will if he keeps. Especially
yeah, but
the way he's doing.
You can't let Nick put these blinders on though, bro. You got to remember that, like, just because Nick might end up looking bad, doesn't mean these other ones that don't have experience won't be good. I mean, you got think about it. McVay, he didn't have much experience. Matt LaFleur didn't have much, but they're good. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is going on with Nick. None of us do, but doesn't mean they're all going to be that way. So don't let one guy keep you from taking chances, because so far we took chances and it's paid off. Eventually we were bound to get one bad egg, and it seems like so far Nick's that guy. You know what I mean?
Well, there's only one guy I'm willing to take a chance on.
Mike Tomlin became the Steelers head coach in 2007, so he's going
14 years in.
Yeah, 14th season.
Yeah, there's only one guy out of coordinators that I'm willing to take a chance on, and it's probably going to be like everyone's going to be like, what the hell, no. And that's Byron Leftwich. I see the work he puts in with Tom Brady. I see how he's with BA and how he studied with him. Again, if Byron gets a couple of more years of seasoning, by all means, I would offer him our head coaching job. But again, I don't know where he's at and if he can run a team yet. He has everything I want. Like I said, I see him on the sideline. You've seen his interactions with Brady. It's just them two going over everything. BA's on the sideline just kicking and waiting to throw the flag. That's it. He's only on the sideline to throw a red flag if needed and call a timeout. For the most part, Leftwich got it. Bowles got it. He just got to sit back and relax. I wouldn't see a problem with getting Byron Leftwich.
Well, see, hey, I want to hit something real quick. Backyard, he makes a valid point there. You're starting to hear a lot of people come out and say that that's the reason that they don't want to come in here is because of Howie, whether that's coaches, whether that's players, and even now you hear frustration from players this offseason getting into it with Howie. All this shit is public now. That's one reason why Jeffrey has to get rid of him, because now it is publicly known that people don't like this guy. They don't want to do business with this guy. And that's the type of franchise that you want? And that's the type of franchise you want to promote? I don't think so. Jeffrey, as far as I know, he's not that type of dude. He seems pretty wholesome dude whenever he talks in his speeches and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't seem like he's one of those got you kind of guys. He doesn't. So whenever you hear things like that and see things like that, it's like you think he's going to change that environment, because that's not what he wants his franchise to be known for.
But the thing is, these are things that Jeffrey already knew about.
But they weren't getting out before. He was keeping them under wraps. It's different now.
Yeah. Now the public knows, but Jeffrey already knew. So Jeffrey already had this knowledge. Why didn't he do anything then? Again,
he had no reason to. It was under the table. No one knew, but now everyone knows. It's different.
But hold on. Remember at the end of the season, he said he wasn't happy. He's the one that said Howie has this season. Basically, Howie had an evaluation himself. So if you ended the season saying Howie has an evaluation, and before the season starts, you have two coaches that didn't want to join your team because of your GM, a player in Deshaun Watson who is facing 22 civil and 22 legal cases. You're telling me a guy whose back is against the wall still doesn't want to play for this team because of Howie? And your coach already knew that. Assuming your owner already knew that. So if he's not going to make the move then, why is he going to make the move now? That's the reason why I say that Howie's going to stay. We might clean house and get rid of the coach, but I feel that, the relationship with him and Jeffrey Lurie is too strong.
Because that just came out, man. That
Hopefully
news about Deshaun and that just came out. The whole point is, and I made this point to Foothills the other day. Every year that Howie's been extended, it's been premature. They've done it before his contract year. Okay, he's in his contract year now, and he's not extended. This is a little bit different scenario than he's ever been in before. And trust me, if Jeffrey was going to keep him, I'm pretty sure he would have signed him already. I really, truly think that. And I'm going to stick by that until Howie's signed to an extension. Because he's always been signed prior to the season.
I pray that he gets fired, but it's just when you look at the track record and you look at the history of our owner and their relationship, all signs point to Howie staying.
That's what I mean. As much as I hate to say that, that's what I think is going to happen too, because I don't think there is, there's not really a G to me. There's not real one that jumps off the page to me right now that I could think of that would just be a hands down, shoe in for the job. So I don't think I can almost guarantee you that Lurie is not Jeffrey Lurie, aka Mr. Burns, is not going to want to let a first time guy who's doesn't have any GM experience or anything like that step into this scenario with this offseason, with the amount of cap space that we're going to have and with the amount of draft picks that we're going to have. I don't know.
There's one guy. It's the one Howie's grooming. Now, granted, that sounds bad, but that's not a bad case, honestly. The one that was sitting next to him on the left during the press conference at the end.
Wait, which one today?
No. At the end of the draft.
Are you talking about Tom Donahoe?
I think
the older guy, or he's an older gentleman. He's had an argument with him. Yeah,
he's
Tom Donahoe.
Yeah. I like Tom. I like his knowledge of the game. I like how he looks at people. I like how he looks at draft picks. I like how he looks at, grading people. I really like Tom. And I believe Tom would be a really good fucking candidate for Howie's job. I truly do. And Howie's been grooming him, so why not?
That's the one that wouldn't fist bump him? Isn't that the same guy?
Yeah, that's the one that wasn't good with.
No, not the old dude. No, we're talking about two different people then. I'm talking about the dude. He has dark hair, kind of like a military cut. He was at the end of the draft.
I would love
that. I know there was one guy that quickly fist bumped him. I don't remember what he looked like.
It was during the press conference. It was Nick on the right. It was Howie in the middle, and then him on the left.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't.
I'd have to see.
I don't know who that is either.
But I wouldn't want anyone that's under Howie either, because that would mean they make the same decision. They're all lateral thinking because he's learning everything from Howie.
He's our lead draft personnel guy, or whatever his name is.
I'm dead serious. I want it all. I want it all taken down. I don't want anything that has anyone to do with Howie or anyone from that staff. I want someone whose main focus is on scouting, who's that puts time and money into scouting, because Howie really doesn't. That's one of our issues too. It's like he gets a couple of out there, but he doesn't even take what they have to consider when drafting comes around. Howie has whatever his idea is. He doesn't take their word into account, which is wild to me. Again, they're the talent evaluators. Why do you think you know more than them? If not, you would be the fucking talent evaluator.
Well, and that's why I said I want that guy to be our GM, because he is our lead talent evaluator. That guy that was sitting to his left, and he actually knows what the fuck he's talking about, because he answered a shit ton of questions, and he's very football. His IQ is crazy, dude. Like, he's very good at what he does. And just because he's trained by Howie doesn't mean he's going to be Howie. Like, you can tell he's a very strict person. Like, he's down for business. He's not there to play. I'll find his name for you. I'll send you the clip. You'll see.
Yeah, but these
I gotta go
apprentices,
back.
that's what Howie was. Howie was that apprentice. It seems like we got the dark side on our running the front office.
At times, it definitely does. I'm trying to see if I could find it, but I clicked on the wrong press conference, I think. Let's see here.
It might yeah. Hold on. Maybe I'll get on my laptop too. I'll find it.
We need a stats guy. Just in the background, just a stats guy.
Right.
I suck with names, man. I can't remember names.
Now I wonder if he's our because I mean I don't even want. I
What are
think
you,
it
like, director of scouting?
Yeah.
might be. I don't even
As
want.
soon as I hear the name, I'll know it.
Right. I think I'm with Vic. You know, we need to wash our hands completely of Howie. I don't even want him moved into another role on this football team. I think we need to wash our hands of it, shake his hand, say, you know what, we appreciate what you've done. You got us a Super Bowl, but it's time to cut ties completely. You know, you got to get him off the teat, so to speak. It's time to cut the cord. It's time for him to
Yeah.
pack his stuff and move out, or else I'm gonna go outside of Lincoln Financial myself. I'm gonna go fly back over there to Philadelphia, and I'm gonna go put a tent outside of the stadium, and I'm gonna put Howie Roseman's name on the front, and he's gonna go move into that tent. That's where he's gonna go because he needs to get the hell out. He definitely does. The time has come. He's a big boy. He needs to put his big boy pants on and move the hell on. We are done.
The Ravens have another GM candidate that's under what is it, DaCosta. That's another organization I want to look at. I want to get guys who come from good organizations that, again, their focus is from the draft. When you look at the Browns, you look at the Ravens, they built those team off the draft. That's someone that we need to get that focuses on that. Because then our coach, all their job is to develop. If you have good players to develop off the rip, it's going to make their job easier. It's going to make everything easier all around. Why do you think Alabama's so good? Because top players come there. It's not because of the coaching staff. Yeah, they got a lot of good names, but when you look at it, they're not the ones who drive that school. It's the players. So if you get top talent coming to this team, it's only going to make everything easier. Right now, we have a GM that can't do that.
Right. Let's see here. The director.
Yeah, but we need an intern.
There's just so many fucking videos, man. Holy shit.
Right.
Just look it up. What was it? End of the year press conference, 2020.
Trying to find who's the head of scouting.
Yeah, they're usually on the Eagles directory. They'll have it.
Right. Oh, scouting. There it is. But you're saying it wasn't? Was it Brandon Brown?
No.
Andy Weddle?
Yes. Andy
Okay.
Weidel.
Andy
That's
Weidel.
who.
He's vice president of player personnel.
Yes,
There you go.
that is the guy.
So then he would be under
Andy
Donahoe,
Weidel.
because isn't Donahoe president of player personnel?
Let me see. Let me go back to that page.
Well, then he's vice president. But yeah, no, that Andy Weidel, dude, that dude.
Tom
I'm
Donahoe
telling you.
is senior football advisor.
Oh, so he doesn't got a title. He's the guy that Howie should be listening to. No wonder why he's so pissed.
Right.
My job is for you to take my opinion and listen to it, not for
Yep.
you just to ignore everything.
What am I even here for? You know, I want to actually make a difference. I don't want to just
But
be.
no, he's VP of player personnel. Yeah, Andy Weidel. That's who was sitting to his left. And dude, he's very good. If you go back and listen to him talk, dude. No lie, you can see it. When he talks, he knows his shit.
He's a veteran with 24 years of NFL scouting experience. Andy Weddle enters his 6th overall season with the Philadelphia Eagles and 3rd as the team's vice president of player personnel. Weidel has played an integral role in helping construct rosters that have produced playoff appearances in 3 of the last 4 seasons, including 2 NFC championships, 2017 and 2019, and a Super Bowl victory against the New England Patriots. So
they're using the past stats as to build them up apparently.
yeah,
Because if we're looking at it then, if you look at the years after 2018, what happened then? Because I think 2018, if you look at that draft, I think that was the Mailata draft. That's probably our most fruitful draft. And I think there were only 5 picks anyway.
yeah,
Because if you look at I think I put something up on before. Since 2017, there's only been 2 drafts out of everyone that we have players from those drafts. Every other draft, they're gone. They're not here.
You can't put that all on him though, man.
No, I'm not putting it all on him. I'm just saying if they're gonna give him that gravitas, that status for winning the Super Bowl, you got to look at this side too. You know what I mean? You got to take the good with the bad. You just can't take all that good. You got to look at the work he put out.
yeah. Analytics. Where's that got him? Backyard. That ain't got
That
him.
analytics. That analytitics is how we got JJ. That's how we got JJ. Because his efficiency with the jump ball, because he was one of the highest rated wide receivers at the time with yardage. And you know what I mean? Like he had stats. I think he was tops in the Pac-10 in wide receivers. He was like their highest rated receiver. He went all with stats and didn't look at the player himself. And then look at the competition he was facing against.
This is the analytics right here. Get that shit out of here. Fucking throw it out the window.
Again, I always hated the fact that we took a chance on Sidney Jones, but we never took a chance on DK Metcalf.
Yeah. And we took you can say the same. We took a chance on like Rasul Douglas, but we didn't take a chance on Justin Jefferson. You know, it goes on and on and on. It's been one F up after the other. And that's what we're all so nervous about because it's Howie's overdue to screw something up. So, you know, it's prime. The bomb is literally primed and prepped for him. All he has to do is light the fuse.
Well, one of my biggest issues with Howie, and I don't know if people realize this, when he's choosing these players, he's picking them because they resemble or they model a game after a former player we had. When we got JJ, he modeled after Alshon. When we got Rieger, he modeled after Deshaun out of anyone else. That was the mindset. He could be the next Deshaun Jackson. It doesn't work out that way. You got to stop trying to pick players from the molds of other players. That's not the way you draft. You draft by the production they performed on the field. You can't go because he reminded me of someone we had in the past. I'm going to stick with that guy. That's horrible.
Yeah. You know,
it's actually fucking lazy. Let's be honest. It's fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Facts. Definitely. But yeah, shout out to Peo. Appreciate you being here and joining us. Rams fan. Peo time. He said, Hey, Eagles fans. Hope you're all well today. Just a heads up. The Lions played desperate. Yeah. I know you just felt that, definitely. And they played you guys tough. So
yeah, shout out to Peo, man. Thank you for showing up, dude. Appreciate
you.
Man.
Thank
definitely, everyone go over and show some support for him. He is definitely one of the best Ram content creators out there. And, he definitely could use the love and support as well. So, good guy. Very good guy.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Rams, isn't everyone so happy for Matthew Stafford? Like, I've never been so happy for a player to get out of a place than him. And like that conversation, I don't know if you saw it, that he had with the Detroit players during, I think it was like a timeout, where he was talking about, like they played good, the guys in the back end were playing great, and when they were looking at him, he tells them, they're talking about how tough it is, and he goes, "Yeah, man, you know how tough." And the emotion in his voice when he said, "Yeah, you know how tough it is," like that was his whole tenure in Detroit, just said in one sentence, and you could feel it, and it was just like he was like, "Listen, I know this shit's tough. I know it's not the way it should be, but you got to fight through it." It was awesome to see his interaction with the Detroit players.
Yeah, because he definitely has a lot of friendships that he built up over the years there, and I'm sure he's got some close friends that are still on the Detroit Lions. So it's not surprising, definitely.
Yeah, definitely a stand-up guy.
Yeah, and I mean, very happy for him. I mean, I'm happy for. Wow! Look what Zach Ertz did on the. Look what
Sorry,
Zach
I didn't think it'd be
on
that loud. My bad, man.
his first touchdown with the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, 50-something yards, his longest ever in his career. It's just freaking crazy, man. I mean, like,
We're live, people. We're live.
I'm going on mute now.
hey, shout out to the 7 right now. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on all 3 of our channels because we are live not only on my channel, The Nest Out West, but also Vic 3. We are live on his channel. We are also live on AK Eagles channel of Eagles Uncensored. My guy with the with the great sound effects in the background. He was
It's a breathing machine.
he was
You got to get it ready. You got to get it charged up. He was cleaning it out. That's all.
Exactly.
Our guy has sleep apnea.
Oh my goodness! Backyard Birds podcast. He said if they use him correctly, Stafford looks so much better. Yeah, I mean, it's very very true.
I have 2 kids.
Was that a bong rip?
Dude, he even looks different in uniform.
It was not a bong rip. No, it's a sound effect.
Yeah, it was just a sound effect.
Like I said,
it's my bubble.
It was your sleep apnea machine. That's all. Your CPAP machine.
Yep.
That's all it was.
It's my bubble machine.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to clean out the hoses sometimes.
CPAP.
Hey, man, if you rooted for this team, you'd have to rip a bong, too. You know what I'm saying?
You have to do more than that sometimes. Yeah. A bong and a beer.
A bong and a blitz.
Yep.
Smoking a pack.
Have you guys ever done? You guys ever do that? I know you're not too big of a drinker, AK, but have you guys ever done that previously? Have you guys ever taken a bonger rip and then while you're holding it in, you take a big chug of a beer?
I don't think I've ever done that before. No.
You get a nice little head rush from that. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. It's fun because you still
woke up next to a midget.
I'm not even gonna ask. I'm not even gonna ask about that one. Pass that turkey.
Hey, on Thursday nights where I live, I used to go to midget shows just to mess around with the guys from work. Awesome.
That was totally a Stifler moment.
Peo said, thanks for the shout out. Got a question for you guys. If the Eagles continue to struggle this season, are they legit concerns that Nick Sirianni is a one and done head coach?
Yep.
I don't know. Well, hasn't Lurie having them in the front office said that he's already, going to be our coach next year?
Oh, did he?
I thought they said that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's going to get 2 years.
Well, again, when you look at the history and the track record of Jeffrey Lurie, he's a man who likes to give people chances.
Right.
When we had Andy Reid, people said for years, Andy should have been gone after year 12, and he stayed. What was it, 15 years altogether? So like Jeffrey gives you a chance, and again, I don't see him getting rid of the coach right now. Again, unless there's a big uproar, it's a topic of conversation all around. Then, if it gets to that point, yeah, I see a move. But right now, it's a wait and see game.
Yeah. What do you think, AK?
We've never done it before. I say fucking do it. I just want to be different for once. Anything to show difference is great to me right now.
I honestly think if we clean house and we get a competent GM and we get a like I said, a coach here that has experience, a seasoned coach, we could be one of those teams where everyone's like, oh my God, last season they won four games and they turned it around in one season. That could be us. I honestly believe it because I think that our roster is good. I think the players on these teams is really good. Fletcher Cox might take plays off, but if there's a coach that gets up on him, and get something out of him, we got some of the Fletch back. We're never gonna get the old Fletch back. But if we get a guy who isn't taking off plays, who puts more effort out there, hey, you never know what this team could be. But right now, we don't have that coach. We got some guy out there that's more worried about fucking planting flowers than calling correct plays or even putting time into watching plays because we don't watch plays. We don't watch defensive plays. We don't do
I'm
that.
gonna go and I'm gonna print him a shirt with a fucking unicorn on it, with a rainbow over it, and put flower power in the fucking rainbow and send it to him. Dumbest shit I've ever heard. Flower.
I'm telling you, after this, you gotta watch it. It's comical.
God, what's his next one gonna be?
It's like, remember how his first press conference, how he was stuttering? And it's just like he didn't know what to do with himself. It's like he figured out, I'm not going to stutter. I'm just going to keep on talking. No matter if it makes sense or not, I'm just going to keep on talking.
He went from rock, paper, scissors to flower. What the fuck?
And you know what's crazy? During the game, you're going to hear them make little pot shots at it. They're going to make references to it.
Oh yeah, I mean you could put the flowers on the grave on the Eagles in this one. They're done. I bet the coach could help with that.
Sirianni let those flowers out to dry. Didn't tend to the flowers this week.
Devontae Smith is going to catch a ball, and they're going to be like, "Oh, he's blossoming."
It's wild though, how, like I said, how he threw those receivers under the bus. Like sometimes I think he doesn't understand what he's saying. When he's like, yeah, they got to do better, especially from the first and second year guy. You're specifically talking about your wide receiver core. And then he goes into saying how they need to get better at the point of attack. Dude, have you thrown the ball or have you drawn up a play to someone other than Goddard or Smith? What do you expect out of them if they're not getting any play? They're constantly running decoy. What do you expect out of a player that does that all the time? You think that they're going to be alert and attentive? Hell no.
Backyard Burst said, roll him in flour and tar and feather his ass.
Yeah.
If Sirianni had the right haircut, I don't know if you'll understand his reference. Have you ever watched Fairly Odd Parents?
Yeah. Back in the day.
The teacher, I remember his name.
Does
he not look like him?
Professor, oh shit. Go ahead. I'm thinking. Go ahead.
He has that face. He has that face, especially when he has like the dumb looks.
Mr. Crocker. Mr. Crocker.
Crocker. Yes.
Mr. Crocker.
Betty Crocker. Yep.
Get him like an old school 50 fades like Mr. Crocker, and that's it. Throw some Buddy Holly glasses. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I could see it. I definitely could see it. He's got that. Yeah, he's got that dumb. That just that kind of that dumb, bewildered look on his face.
Yes.
Denzel Crocker. Yep. Papa Sora knows what's going on. Yep. Oh. Yeah, you're gonna see Gainwell catch another touchdown pass. They'll be like, look at him blossom, look at him grow as a young out of that great Sirianni fertilizer.
He's sprouting.
And the thing is, they're gonna focus on Gainwell so much now. They're gonna try to force him the ball. He's not ready yet. Again, bring up Jordan Howard at this time. Get him out there with Boston Scott. Use them in tandem as a thunder and lightning. And then you bring in Gainwell in the passing and maybe sometimes in the run game just to sprinkle him in. I guarantee you that'll be way more effective than just having Gainwell run out there because they're going to try to make him the starter eventually. That's the way it looks. For whatever reason, they don't trust Boston Scott. They don't trust the other guys on the team. I don't know why they have running backs in the practice squad. Again, that's the issue with Sirianni. He has a bunch of talent on his team, and they're just left standing around doing nothing.
Listen, I'm going to be on record here first to say this because I want to be. If we move on from Miles Sanders this year, which could be highly possible, please go get the Texas halfback.
Yeah, like
I just want to make that known right now. I want the guy from Texas.
There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent at running back in college this year. It's wild.
Yeah. Let's see.
Then we can focus in the second round, though.
For the Longhorns? He plays for the Longhorns?
Yeah, number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah, Memphis. I think Memphis has a kid out there that's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I think they do.
No,
too.
this kid from Texas is going to be a stud, dude.
I would love to have I don't want to say
Keelan Robinson.
Yeah.
physical running back. You know, can take a hit, keep it pushing.
I think he's
speed.
like 220. Yeah, he's
Boy.
a fucking monster, man.
I think a lot of NFL teams are going to go for the Derrick Henry type because they see the success. So you're going to see a lot bigger running backs coming out.
Yeah.
Guys who might have wanted to be linebackers before
pull up his highlight videos real fast.
Can I pull up what?
Pull up his highlight video real fast.
Let's see if I could. Yeah, give me 1 second.
If you haven't seen him, Vic, you got to see this kid. He's really good.
What is it? People keep on talking about the kid from Michigan also. He's another running back.
There is a lot out there.
Yeah. But like it's exciting because again, NFL teams devalue running backs so much. So like you're guaranteed you can get someone good in the second round. Hell, all our running backs for the most part have come in the second round. You look at Shady, you're looking at Miles. Those are second round picks.
Yep.
Well, it's Bijan Robinson.
Bijan.
Yeah.
Put a little flair to it.
He's number 5, like you said. He's number 5. Okay,
Yeah.
let me pull this up real quick here.
One running back recruit in the country.
Oh,
Robinson spins free from the wood.
he's got great center and balance.
He took a tackle. Turning some gains beyond me. Bellinger now to Robinson.
That's out the backfield.
Some nice cuts.
Plants his foot.
That's against Alabama too. No, that's Oklahoma.
Oh, to make you move. That is what he's going to bring to the Texans offense.
Kind of reminds me of Shady. Maybe a little stronger.
Play there down the sideline to get what he
He's
can.
a big boy.
Yeah, about to say he looked pretty healthy.
Yeah. He looks
He's
tall.
got good cutbacks and everything, man. Good footwork.
Robinson again.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Lower that shoulder.
He wants to win a point of contact. Hell yeah. Oh,
He's got good vision. Ooh.
Yeah, and he's strong, bro.
oh,
Yeah. Look at that
he's
kid.
carrying it. Yeah. He's for real.
That's what we need, my guy.
Yeah.
That is what we
Look at that. Running people over. Yeah.
Yeah, listen. I know when Derrick Henry threw Josh Norman 15 yards, that was way better because he just carried him along. He literally carried my guy along for like a good 25 yards.
I need some Dijon mustard.
Oh.
Tempo for Texas. Robinson off the left side. What a
Oh,
great
he's
use
strong.
of vision
Yeah.
and power out of Robinson again moving.
Look at that hole, though. Damn.
Sam Bellinger to Robinson.
Oh. I think that guy left his ankles back there. Yeah.
Oh, that's a shady move right there. That's a shady move right
Here's your
there.
thing from this angle. Look.
Oh, yeah. He just grabbed it, was like, you're going to come along with me for a little bit. I like the speed. I like the breakaway speed. Oh, nice. He gets physical at the end.
Yep.
Oh, took off his head.
Ow. Damn, how did he not hurt his back right there? Oh, shit.
Oh, yo, he's Scorpion? He's Scorpion?
What the hell?
Nah.
He must do yoga.
You hope.
Right?
He's just young. We're not that young anymore.
Yo, look at that, though. That speed, man. Kid's good.
And here's the vision. This is just instinctive running right here. He sees it over to the left, and then boom, right there. He gets a little bit thin.
He's got good vision, and he doesn't give up.
Wanted the screen. He's got Robinson.
I love that he makes moves and
Robinson,
there's not that much space.
His second already.
Looks like he's got good hands too.
Heck yeah. Listen, that's a threat right there.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
I'm sold. Listen, I was sold that the fact that he taxied a man 25 yards.
Right?
I mean, he was pulling double duty. He was a running back and an Uber driver all together. He got 5-star rating for me.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be a monster, dude. So if we get rid of Miles, that's who I want, hands down. Like, go get that guy.
See, that's the thing. Like we have a good opportunity to come away from this draft with some good players. Again, there's a lot of good talent. Hopefully, we can get a guy who can pick the right players, because I'm not confident in what we have right now. There's no confidence whatsoever in the front office and in the coaching staff. The players, yeah, I have confidence in them, but none anywhere else.
True. Yep. And Gio from the 215 said, we pick up a QB this week. Yes, Reed Sinet
Yeah.
is correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
From the Dolphins.
Off the Dolphins
no
practice
threat,
squad.
just the body.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to have 3 guys.
He's going to be your practice squad quarterback for the rest of the season, more than likely. So, yeah. Yep. But yeah, that he's Backyard Birds. He's talking about Dijon. He said that guy is a beast.
Yeah,
He definitely looks
Dijon mustard, man.
yeah. Oh, that's a good comparison. Reminds me of Warwick Dunn in his prime. Good comparison.
Yeah.
But Ward was tiny. Ward was so
Yes.
tiny, nimble. Yeah, you couldn't even see him when he was behind those guys. That was one of the best things about being a small back. Maurice Jones-Drew is another guy, tiny little thick guy, but you couldn't see him back there behind those linemen.
The one he reminds me of is the one that was for Tampa Bay before Marshawn Lynch was there. He wasn't there that long. He might have had 2 or 3 good years, but it was because his legs went bad.
In Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Well, Marshawn Lynch was never in Tampa Bay.
No, he's talking about LeGarrette Blunt. That's what he's talking
Or
about.
LeGarrette Blunt, I mean. He was right before LeGarrette
I knew who you meant. I knew who you meant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
Who was that?
But he had a really good year, his rookie year. Like, he had a
Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman.
No.
No? Because I remember he was good for them too.
I know who he's talking about. I just can't think of his name.
No, he's built like Leonard Fournette. Like, he was a power back.
He was there with Josh Freeman, right? That's when they had Vincent Jackson in them.
I want to say yeah, but that's not.
I think it was Michael Pittman, but maybe I'm wrong then.
No. God, I gotta Google. Can somebody Google their hashtag? I don't want to pull my laptop up again.
Yeah, I'm Googling it right now.
Maybe it was right after Blunt.
Right after Blunt.
Jones? No.
So in what year do you know?
He only had a couple of years. Doug Martin. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, the hamster, Mighty Mouse.
Yes.
Yeah. Mighty
Yes.
Mouse. I forgot
He
about him.
reminds me of Doug Martin. He really
He had
does.
2 good seasons, and that was it. The third one he got hurt, and it was a wrap from there.
But Doug
he
was
was
a
great.
beast his first 2 years, man.
Gio, we
He
appreciate
went
it.
Yeah,
off.
Gio on point.
Yep.
Yeah, Doug Martin, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Gio.
I totally forgot about him. Yeah.
Yeah, he reminds me of a
He
young
was going
Doug
to the
Martin.
team.
Yep.
Yeah, you were right, because I think something was wrong. His leg, like I said, he got
Was
injured.
he
and never
before or
recovered.
after Blunt?
No, he was after. You were right.
After,
Matter of fact,
okay.
he was before, because like I said, he was with Josh Freeman. He was after
Yeah.
Michael Pittman, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
Let's see.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Trying to
Memories, huh?
Hey, you know who reminds me of him right now? You know who reminds me of Doug Martin? Christian
Who?
McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey got hurt and still hasn't rebounded from that injury last year.
Doug Martin's from Oakland, California. Damn, I didn't even know that.
Huh.
So he retired in 2018 with the Raiders. So he came and played with his hometown.
Yeah, that's right. He did sign with the Raiders because they had Jones-Drew in him.
He was on the
Yeah.
Bucks. He was on the Bucks from 2012. They drafted him in 2012 through 2017. So, yeah, he had a couple of good years and then fell off after that. As a lot of running backs tend to do. Not a lot of running backs have long shelf lives. They just don't.
Guys
Yeah.
take punishment out there.
Mm-hmm. Not only
And
that,
you know what's crazy?
there's always a less guy a guy who's willing to take a lot less money to work just as hard as that next guy, and the talent level, it doesn't need to, the disparity of the talent level isn't that far, and it doesn't really matter because running backs are a dime a dozen most of the time.
Well, AK had referenced the coaches. The reason why we say running backs are a dime a dozen, it was Lovie Smith. Remember when they went to the Super Bowl that season? They had I just had his name. He was the kid that came out of Ricky Williams out of Texas, right behind him. I forgot his name. He was touted Cedric Benson. They had Cedric Benson and they had one of the Thomas brothers, and they
Yeah.
would always interchange them back and forth. That's what started this fad that was right now, and that was all due to Lovie Smith.
Man.
The guy was a trendsetter. Like
Lovey's a genius, dude. He's a very, very brilliant man when it comes to play calling, and that's why I wanted him last year. Like right after we fired Doug, instantly I was like, man, I want Lovey. Like
I
know he's
wouldn't
old.
go far as
Well, look at Lovey did. Lovey built a defense and coached a defense good enough to get freaking the team with Rex Grossman as their quarterback to the freaking Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, they lost, but still, they won the NFC.
He had Brian Urlacher, for Christ's sake.
Right. He had traded
Lance Briggs.
Briggs.
He had Charles Tillman. Oh, they had a squad back then.
He knows how to draft, man. That's why I like him. And look what he's bringing to Houston. Everybody thought Houston, yeah, they are bad, but they're not as bad as what everyone thought they would be. They're not always getting blown out because Lovie Smith can coach a fucking defense.
I would love him as my defensive coordinator, not my
Hell
coach.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want the guys on the defensive side of the ball to have someone to rally around instead of the coach. And if you have Lovie Smith, that only makes your defense better. If he was 10 years younger, I would love Wade Phillips. We don't go into the 3-4 defense that much, but that guy is proven. Every team he's been on, he's improved that defense. And it wasn't just for the time he's been there. He sets up teams for years to come. Look at the Rams. That defense is because of Wade Phillips. When you look at the Chargers before, that's Wade Phillips. When you look at the Cowboys before, when their defense was on point, that's all Wade Phillips. The Texans, Wade Phillips. That man was proven.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, if we're gonna if we do get rid of Sirianni, whether it's after this season or next or whatever, the next coach that we get, if it is someone who is inexperienced on the NFL level and who is more offensive minded, obviously, I want them. We have to get a defensive coordinator who has a lot of coaching experience, and whether it's a former head coach like a Todd Bowles type, somebody like that, we need to get somebody who the defense can really rally around and buy into, because even if our offense is rebuilding and it's not the greatest out there, it's not world beaters by any means. If you got a good defense that can keep you in games, that makes all the difference. It just does.
2001 Ravens. They had Elvis Gerback, Trent Dilfer, and I forgot what other bum. Kyle Bowler. Those were the three starting quarterbacks that took them on the season to a Super Bowl year. Trent Dilfer, I guess, ended the year, but the only reason why they won is because their defense constantly kept them in the game.
Hey, I got a question for you. Would you take Jim Harbaugh?
No.
You wouldn't? Okay. I know he hasn't been good in Michigan. I know, but I know he did good for the 49ers, and I know the shit went south there, and it was a shitty thing, but I mean, maybe he's just not cut out to be a college coach. Maybe he's in better suit for the NFL. I don't know. That's why I just asked that.
I liked him with his first two seasons in San Francisco were great. If that's the guy if he can still be that guy, I would love to have him, but he's not that guy for whatever the reason. And the thing is too is his attitude, the way he treats people. That's one of the bad things about him. That's why he's in the position he is in. That's why Michigan has been shit for so long with him. It's ridiculous. Like he took that program and they thought that, they got their guy finally. And those boosters love him. Jim Harbaugh is back. Those boosters will have his back for years to come. But again, like the product on the field doesn't match with, the respect he's getting. I wouldn't want anything to do with him right now. Maybe he does need to come back to the NFL. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's what it is. You can't handle the recruiting. You can't get the talent. There's no reason to waste your talent there. Come back to the NFL. If he can be that guy from San Francisco those first 2 years, I'd love to have him. But again, he has to do a lot of changing. One of the things that we needed from our coaches was emotional intelligence. He lacks that in spades.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I know.
I would say no on
real
Harbaugh
quick.
myself. Go ahead.
Real quick though, I really feel though we kind of need that here now. I feel like we actually need a coach who doesn't mind getting down and dirty with them, as in like yelling a little bit. It seems like we've lost our grit. You know what I mean? Like maybe we need that. Maybe that's the
I
piece
don't know if this team would handle it though, because let's be honest. Sometimes when we hear, sources talking to the media, sometimes I feel like they're a little sus. You know what I mean? They're a little too pampered. If a coach comes in there, with that hardball mentality, they're not going to gravitate towards it. They're going to want to get that guy out there. They're going to lash out in the field. They're not going to perform well. What they need is someone that earns their respect. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's willing to come in here and earn the player, not come in here to demand respect or expect any respect. Someone who comes in, keeps his head down, and earns the respect of the players. That's someone we would need.
Yeah, I mean that's, and the thing is that if we go out and at some point get another coach, that's what I was going to ask you guys. We were talking about different coaches and stuff that we might think about hiring in the future. Would you guys give? And this is kind of a pipe dream right now, especially with his given situation. He's probably going to retire where he's at, but would you guys, if he wanted to give the NFL another go, would you guys be interested in, in the Alabama's head coach?
Saban?
Yeah.
Nah, his coaching style is built for college. He can't manage NFL players. That was his big issue in Miami. He didn't know how to interact with players. He didn't know how to treat them. He would skip out on meetings. A lot of people forget that. He wouldn't even attend meetings because he didn't understand why these players weren't the way they acted in college. Of course they're not, because they're grown fucking men. This is the job for them. You're not gonna yell at an NFL player the same way you did as a college. You know why? Because that college kid knows that if you take his scholarship, that's his whole life. In the NFL, they've passed that point. They've earned their money. They don't need you to say anything to them. That's where Saban can't get over. Same thing with Urban Meyer. Same issues that Urban Meyer's having. That's Nick Saban right there.
Would you do Oregon's head coach?
Is that the guy that took after Chip, right?
Yeah.
Again, college coaches do not interest me at all. There are none that interest me. I'm not about the college coaching. Again, Brian Kelly, if not him, no one.
Really?
Yep.
So even if
Brian Kelly's the only one.
So you wouldn't consider Lincoln Riley if we have Jalen Hurts as our quarterback next year?
I'm not sniffing Lincoln Riley because I guarantee you give him a head coaching job and he'll fail. That's why he hasn't done it, because he knows he'll fail. He knows where he's at and he knows what's good.
It's interesting.
David, what was it? David from Stanford. I forgot his last name. David Shaw.
Let me throw a name at
bring him up. I wouldn't mess with him.
I got a good one. How about Jack Del Rio?
Nope. Hell no. Look at the Washington Redskins defense this year. Look at the Redskins defense this year. He can't even take care of that.
No. Fucking one person, Dan fucking Snyder, fucks that whole franchise up. I don't want to.
You got gifted.
No one succeeds in Washington.
Washington is blessed with a defensive line that should be killing it.
No one succeeds in Washington. That's where you go to fucking die. We all know that.
Where did Del Rio go? He went to die in Washington.
I know, but that's only because
Let
that's
that
the
body
job he
rock.
was offered. If somebody sits there and offers you the amount of money they offered him to do his job, I'd fucking take it too. It wouldn't matter if I knew it was a shitty organization or not. The
He got
fact
fired.
is, he
I
got
don't want him.
fired. He got fired with a successful fucking season. He went 9-7. Yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And he was really good prior to that. No,
It was
no,
Oakland.
no.
It was a
Jack
bum
Del
year for
Rio
that
got
division.
fucked. He got fucked out of that job all
I'm not
because of
gonna agree
Gruden.
with Del Rio.
That's all that was over, man.
Del Rio's not my guy. I would even give Eric the enemy a chance because again, you don't know what he does. It's a mystery. It's
Yeah,
a
but
mystery
Jack Del
of
Rio's proven he can win. There's a big difference between Bieniemy and Del Rio.
I remember that toss up he had in Jacksonville, his tenure in Jacksonville. So I got to add that in there.
And
He ruined David Garrard's career.
Bieniemy's not calling plays, right? In Kansas City, Andy Reid is.
Mike Kafka does more for that offense than Bieniemy does. So
That's
I
a
don't know
name
why they keep on interviewing
Brown.
Bieniemy.
That's the name that
Mike
was
Kafka.
Brown. Yeah, quarterback coach.
And I think he turned down. He's again the third, I think, of 5 coaches that turned down the Eagles' job. Andy served it up on the platter, so he was like, "No, thank you, coach. I want nothing to do with that." And then he was like, "You know what? I can't disagree with you." That's another coach. Again, people aren't understanding. There were multiple coaches that came in here to interview for the job, and multiple coaches were offered a position. They all denied it because of Howie Roseman.
I know.
Again, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And the owner knew this the whole time. He was there. They told him why. Again, this information wasn't given to Howie. This information was given to Jeffrey and his team. So again, if the coach knew this the whole time that your GM is costing you quality coaching candidates, you should have made a move then. And that tells me if you didn't make a move then, you're not going to make a move now.
To me, it's pretty clear when you look at the last 2 candidates that they had, which they didn't have very many to begin with, but when they went with Nick Sirianni, who is far less experienced than Josh McDaniel. Josh McDaniel has former coaching experience, whether it was good or not. I don't care. They went with the guy who they knew was going to be the yes man, and that's why they chose Sirianni. We know that he was not their first choice. He was their safe choice. He was their safe choice for what they had left in front of them. They weren't going to take McDaniel because McDaniel's not going to sit there and take their shit. He's not going to sit there and freaking keep running the same damn offense out there over and over and over again when it's not doing anything. You know, Josh McDaniel he's that type that he's like a salmon. You know, he swims against the stream. He's like that kid. You tell him to do something, he did the exact opposite. You know, he goes to his own beat. The beat of his own drum is his and his only. You know, so
well, I'm going to be the first to sit here and say it, and you can. And I swear I'll come back next year and say I was wrong. But Howie Roseman will not be here next year.
I pray he does. But see, a lot of things people don't remember.
If he is, I promise you I will come back and say I was fucking wrong. But mark my words, he will not be with us next year.
And a lot of things that people kind of forget. It was fate that we didn't land Ben McAdoo. Again, contract was in hand. We offered him the contract. Here you go. This team is yours. And he denied it again because of Howie. And we ended up with Doug Peterson. That's why you can't really you can credit Howie for the Super Bowl, yeah, but that was a calamity of errors that got us to where we needed to be. That got us our first championship. So even when, at our best, it was because of horrible situations that came up. Because again, we were scrambling to get a coach. Same way we did with Sirianni. We were scrambling to get a coach. If we keep Howie, we're going to continue to scramble to get a coach. It's wild. I don't understand Jeffrey Lurie's thinking again. It has to be the relationship that he has with Howie is greater than what he feels that, he owes this fan base, which right now looks like it's absolutely nothing.
Right. It really does. You're not lying when you say that, Vic, at all. But we're coming at we're coming up on 2 hours already. We're right at that 2 hour mark. We still got 4 people in the live stream, so thank you guys for 4 or 5. We now got 5. We got a nickel in there, so shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being with us. Definitely appreciate it. It's like Coach Dante's in here now. So what's going on, Coach?
What up, Coach?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What up, Dante? Absolutely. Yeah, I guarantee, like I said earlier, I guarantee you the Lions are far more confident than our football team right now, and don't be surprised if we lose another one this weekend. It's not a lot of positives going on with this team right now. There just really isn't.
I think like the Lions, like every team we played before them, are going to come better prepared than what we will.
Oh yeah,
Like they're not going to have to put a late game effort to win this game. It's always going to be us. It reminds me. It reminds me of when we had Brett Brown as our coach for the Sixers. Third quarter, you were so afraid to go into the damn third quarter because you know it was going to be a shit show. For us, it's like at first it's a shit show, then things start clicking. Or is it the fact that teams already are just like, we already got this in the bag? I think that's more or less what it is teams already just letting off the gas pedal, and then we take that opportunity and try to catch up, but it's still not good enough.
and like you said earlier, their running back coach is he's gonna put in a big part. He's gonna be a big part of the game plan because basically anybody out there right now who has is it DeAndre Swift? Is that his first name? Anyone who has Swift on the linebackers on the Lions as their running back for fantasy wise, you definitely better be starting him this week because you can guarantee he's going to get a lot of playing time, a lot of touches because they're going to want to keep the ball. Not only they're going to try to control the clock with the run game, but they're going to want to keep the ball out of Jared Goff's hands and limit the chances that he can turn the ball over because that's going to be I think right now that's going to be our sole chance at winning this game. Our defense is going to have to come to play like they did in Carolina, especially in that second half. They're going to have to play like that. The defense is going to have to keep us in the game. We might not even get like a special teams turnover or something like that. Something like what we did in Carolina, just something to kind of bridge the lack of offense. That's the only way we're gonna win in Detroit. But if they get out to an early lead, we're going to be playing catch up ball again, and that hasn't fared very well for us so far this year.
I equated this game the same as when we went against Atlanta. It's a team that that's going through it. They're not the best. They're trying their hardest to come up. They got a new coach, and then when we play them, we're going to look good. We're going to look decent because I guarantee you, when we start off this game, it's going to be like last week. We're going to run the ball. We're going to show that, Sirianni's getting the message, and then it's going to revert back in the second half as always. But if Detroit can't catch up, then the pressure is going to be off Sirianni for this week. And it's going to be people turning around and say, well, maybe he does have everything. Maybe he can turn this around. And it's going to give you hope. And then when you go into the stretch, the next 3 games, and you lose those games, then it's going to make it worse. It's going to be like you gave people hope, and they're going to take it back. And that's the reaction from that is going to be way worse than what we're experiencing right now.
Hey, yeah.
I'm not messing with Kirby Smart either. I'm not messing with any college coach except for Brian Kelly. That's it.
You like Brian Kelly a lot. You're high on him, huh?
Like I said, the reason why I'm high is because of what he's facing with that team. It's not easy to get kids to go to Notre Dame. Right. You're not getting the top talent. Yeah, they're a D1 school, but you're not really getting top talent. And he's doing a lot with that. They're constantly in the conversation every year. You got to give the guy respect. Even though, and like you said, you wanted a strong coach. What's sterner of a coach that wants to kill his team after a win?
Well, I didn't say I want a mass murderer.
Hey, but you want that killer mentality on the team. Brian Kelly got it.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying, definitely, But what was I reading here? Give me 1 second. Yeah, so if if you guys were the in charge of bringing up players to the active roster right now, which running back are you bringing up? Are you bringing up Jason Huntley or are you bringing up Jordan Howard?
Howard.
You want
Howard
that?
has the experience, but Huntley to me is more intriguing. But you got to give Jordan Howard the shot first. Again, if it doesn't look like he can get the ball going, then you bring up Huntley. But yeah, Huntley is a good option as well.
Yeah, because Huntley gives us another option on kickoff returns. He gives us that special teams ability as well. So, I think I would, especially with if they're going to continue to run the type of offense that they're running, you're going to want more of a speed, more of a speedster type of back. If they're not going to commit to any kind of run game, I don't see the purpose of a Jordan Howard, kind of like you said, Vic, earlier in this season. There really wasn't any need for to bring up Jordan Howard if they're going to continue to ignore the run game, because he would just be a waste at that point. So I think I would lean towards because I don't think they're going to make that, especially now that Sanders is out. I think they're going to keep running the same shotgun offense, and I think Huntley would be more productive for us.
Well, it does. Like I said, it didn't make sense at that time because if you're not even running the ball, what's the point of bringing a running back up? You ain't doing nothing with the running back you got now. But I honestly think that with, you got to bring up maybe even 2 running backs. We got how many linebackers on our squad that ain't doing a damn thing? You can release one of them. You know what I mean? You can make the room. You can, hey, what up? Going on. But yeah, you can make the room. You can bring up Howard and Huntley. You could have 4 running backs on the squad. Who cares?
The only
What does it
the
matter?
only good reason for Howard coming up is for your run block. He's very good at run blocking. Or pass blocking, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, he's a proven player. If Howard shows you something, yeah, that's awesome. But if he doesn't, that's what I said. You got Huntley back to you. So you might as well bring up. I would say you could bring up both of them.
Yeah.
People might disagree with it, but I would say just bring up both of them. Get one of those linebackers that are on the depth chart. Get them out of here because again, we're not doing anything with our linebackers. The 3 we have now can't do anything on the field. No one else behind them is going to do anything better.
Or put JJ on the practice squad. And
Hell, just get rid of JJ.
Yeah.
Drop him.
Cut
Drop
ties.
them altogether. Yeah, cut ties. Make room. It's dead weight. Let's be honest. All the joking aside, JJ is just dead weight right now.
Both teams Packers without star players tomorrow. I didn't know JJ Watt got hurt. Really again?
I don't know why got hurt, but did you hear what happened to the Packers? The Packers pretty much lost half of the receiving corps.
Yeah. Yeah, because Devontae Adams is on COVID now. Lazard is too. Was there somebody else?
What did they say? I think Scanlon might not play. There's a possibility it has nothing to do with COVID, but he might not play. So if anyone on fantasy tomorrow, Randall Cobb is a hot pickup.
I was gonna say, I think I might.
Randall Cobb is a spicy pickup.
Yeah, yeah. I might
AJ Dillon, the running game. They might go with the running game more. So if you got AJ Dillon out there in the waiver wires, pick him up too.
I got Aaron Jones, baby. I got Jones. A couple of my league.
You want to trade him?
Not right now. No, definitely. Cobb, definitely. Pick him up if he's available in your fantasy leagues. Pick him up. Yeah. He's going to get some big time playing time this week.
Yeah, this week's going to be crazy, especially with Houston, because I don't know if Tyrod Taylor's playing or not. But if he is, man, Brandon Cooks, that's another guy to get. If you got him on the waivers, which I doubt, get him on the waivers. If you could trade for him, trade for him.
Did you guys see that Mark Ingram went back to the Saints?
Yep.
Mark Ingram. So he went. Yeah, he's gone full circle. He was drafted by the Saints. More recently, he was on Baltimore the last couple of years, and then this season he was on the Houston Texans. But yeah, Mark Ingram is headed back to New Orleans to be that 1-2 punch with Alvin.
Wait, wasn't Mark Ingram on Pittsburgh?
No, he never went to Pittsburgh.
Bud Dupree?
No. He's the running back. The running back. I think you're thinking of Evan Ingram. I think you're thinking of Evan Ingram.
Yeah, my bad.
There you go.
I liked Mark Ingram when he was at Baltimore. When they had, what did they call it? The Heisman setup?
Yeah.
That was pretty sick. With him and Lamar, that was a good tandem. He complimented him a lot.
Yeah. Lazard, he went on COVID too. Yep, I heard that
So
earlier on
yeah.
ESPN.
Yeah, so you got Lazard, you got Adams, but if I'm not mistaken, as long as they come up with 2 negative tests before Sunday, they would be okay to play. Now, I don't know the severity if they really have COVID or not.
Oh, the Packers play tomorrow. They play Arizona tomorrow night.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I
Those
forgot.
guys
I know it's tomorrow.
they're not playing. Yeah, they're out.
Yeah, I
They're probably
guarantee you though.
they got the O next to their name on the fantasy. They're
I
already out.
guarantee you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. That team doctor's office is gonna be filled. They're all getting swabs up the nose.
The JDW say going to pick up Cobb now. We got people making
Yeah.
fantasy moves on here. That's awesome. I love it.
Hey man, we'll help you out with fantasy too. That's what we do. We're all in the league together. AK just beat my ass this past week.
Yeah,
by getting hurt.
I freaking I had a couple of pretty big blowout wins. I beat One Trey Rock in the Subscriber Monday league, and then in Philly Mike's league, I beat Philly Mike, and he was in first place. So freaking took it to him.
Yeah, he was at 5-1. Now he's 5-2, and he goes against me this week. So hopefully I can beat him too. We give him that losing streak.
Yeah,
I'm coming for you, Mike. I'm coming for you.
The injury, to answer your question, JDW, the injury is not too serious. It's just a minor. I think an ankle sprain. I haven't heard anything specific, but they're saying he was only going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. So
yeah,
it's nothing too serious. He should be out. He should be back before well before Christmas.
I have a question since we're talking about fantasy. Do you think that Christian McCaffrey's done
For the year?
for the year, for career? Just saying, do you think he's going to be the same player? I mean,
I think that
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think in time he'll be okay. I don't think he's done. I think he's definitely got some tread left on the tires. I know he's been injury prone, but at times, but I think long term, I think he's going to be okay.
and they use him a lot. And, it looks like his body's not able to keep up.
Yeah, that's true.
Having Sam Darnold as your quarterback apparently isn't going to work out either.
Yeah.
That's ended up not being a really good pick.
But the thing is, how much of that is tied? How much do you think is tied to McCaffrey not being there?
We'll find out, won't we?
Because Chuba Hubbard really isn't. I always call him Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard really isn't doing much. Bubba Hubbard, he ain't hearing. There's a lot of expectations out of him, but nothing has come out of it.
We'll see.
I think Sam Darnold's. I think he is not a starting level caliber quarterback in my opinion. I just don't think he's got it.
And those first 3 games, though. First 3 games are magical.
Yeah, but even you can even polish a turd, and you can look good for a little while.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear that talk about the Dolphins? Pretty much have everything wrapped up for Watson. They're only waiting on what's going on with his legal case. Once they get confirmation on the status of that, Deshaun Watson is a Dolphin.
Good.
Yo, did I read something correctly where the NFL came out and said they didn't have enough evidence to put him on the exempt list?
The NFL's scared. The NFL's scared to touch him because they know Watson could fight that and he'll win it.
Right.
And the NFL doesn't want that because going forward, if they do that to another player, then they're stuck. Just like Brady. Ever since Tom Brady fought them, they've retracted. They're not going as hard as they used to.
Yeah. That's very true.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's what Goodell said. He said that they don't have enough evidence, and the NFL prides themselves in not getting involved until the legal system is taking effect. And we all know you used to get suspended before the ticket was even drawn up. Before that DUI photo came out, you were already suspended.
Right. Yeah. I think Sanders would be smart to not come back any earlier than he needs to. He should wait until he is absolutely more than healthy, until his body feels completely great and healed, and I think he should take as much time off as he needs to. Really, I think he's earned that with the amount of time and effort and everything that he's put into this team, and the fact that they have continued to ignore him and underutilize him. And yeah, I think he's earned his vacation time. Definitely, he could, take all the time you need, Miles, because if I'm him, if things don't change, I want out. I want out big time.
Well, next year is this contract year. A lot of people keep on getting confused thinking it's this year. It's actually next year. Next year is that second to last year, so that's when he's going to want a deal, because after that, there's no guarantee for him. That's his last year. I think 2023 is his last year.
Yeah, because he was drafted in 2018, right after we won this, and that would be 5 years. Yeah, so 2013 or 2020.
So next year, I know there's going to be, if he's on this team and they don't trade him and they're going to use him the same way, there's going to be some grumbling, especially on your contract here. There's going to be some serious grumbling.
Yeah. Well, and as much as people say we don't need to, we at some point, I'm not saying use multiple first round picks, but maybe possibly one. We need to start addressing the offensive line a little bit. What do you guys think? So we have more confidence in this run game.
I would say focus on the offensive line, but again, we have so many deficiencies on the defensive side of the ball. Do we
It's true.
use a draft pick high on a lineman after all the guys that we have now? Because even though they might not be up to par, those are guys that are signed for some time. I think Herbig had just signed a contract, if I'm not mistaken. So we guys got Landon Dickerson, rookie deal. You got Driscoll, rookie deal. Sayamalu, I think, might be coming up shortly. You got Johnson, who's locked in. Brooks, if I'm not mistaken, his deal's running up next year, or is it the year after?
I think Brooks is done. I think they're going to wash their hands of Brooks. I don't think he's going to play another game. I mean, he may play another game this year, but I think this is his last year with Philadelphia.
But you brought up a very good point, though, because you might have to think about it, because we mentioned before we might be down 3 linemen.
Right.
Brooks, Kelsey.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, very possibly our offensive line could look like this. Could be Driscoll at right tackle, Nate Herbig at right guard. We got Dickerson taking over for Kels, Sayamalu at left guard, and then you got Mulata at left tackle. That's a good possibility. That's what our offensive line is going to look like next year. And are we comfortable with that?
Dickerson might not be the center. It might be Sayamalu, because they're saying Dickerson is playing better on the left side.
Possibly, because Sayamalu could play center too. So yeah, either way. I mean, you have Sayamalu at center and you put Dickerson at left guard. You have Dickerson and Mulata next to each other. I like that idea.
You do not use your first 7 picks on offensive line at all. If you want to address the offensive line, you do it at the end, 6th, 7th round. I'm fine with that. But your first 7 picks have to be defensive players. 100%, hands down, no questions asked. You want to address the offense, do that with free agency with the 50 million plus. That there, go ahead and address it there. But that draft better be defense and defense only. Like I said, I like Herbig, I like Driscoll, I like Dickerson, I like Mulata, and even Sayamalu was playing at a great level until he got injured. So, I'm okay with even him if he comes back. But whatever happens, you can address it later and still be okay, because I really like the talent that we have behind them. So I don't believe losing Brooks and Johnson, whether it's at the end of the year or whatever, I don't think it affects us that much.
Yeah, like I said, it could, it might not. Hopefully, the guys that we have can come up, like Driscoll. That's a guy that we're going to be expecting a lot out of. Dickerson's another guy we're going to be expecting a lot of, because of the position that they're in, especially for Driscoll, because he might be our right tackle next season. So there's a lot of ifs. But to what AK was saying, I'm not doing my first 7 on defense. I'm going to sprinkle in 2 offensive players, a quarterback and a running back. one first round pick will be put on the quarterback. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get my 2 defensive guys that I want. If my quarterback that I'm thinking is gonna be there, if he's still there, I'm gonna pick him up. If not, we'll continue with the defense. That I'm gonna have to invest in a running back in the second round.
What are you guys? Have you guys seen this kid Matt Corral out of Ole Miss quarterback?
Ole Miss.
What do you
Hey,
guys think
he's
about
played
him?
well. He's played well. He had a bad game. It was like 2 weeks ago, or it wasn't this past week. It was last week before that. But again, no, matter of fact, it was this week. But even then, what they're considering bad for him wasn't really that bad. It was probably, when they say all said and done, they were playing catch up at the end. But the kid didn't throw an interception. He really didn't make any bad decisions. I think it was 2 touchdowns for a little bit less than 200 yards. And I think his accuracy was 31 or 34, something like that. Like it wasn't real. Again, when you look at it, it's like it's not that bad when you look at the stats. The game probably told you something different, but when you look at his stats, he's not making mistakes. He's not giving the ball up. So I don't see anything wrong.
Yeah, that's true, Richie. It is definitely. I get what you're saying. But yeah, what do you think, AK, about Matt Corral?
Man, I'm telling you what, I don't even want to think about quarterback. All right, but if there's only one in this draft I go with, that's the one I've been saying all along, and that's Malik Willis. That's my guy, and that's the one I'm sticking with.
That's Lamar Jr. Lamar
I'd,
likes. There you go.
I'd,
Lamar
more,
likes.
I'd put him more towards Vic, honestly.
Nah, when I see him run, it's all Lamar. Even his throwing motion, he looks like Lamar.
Well, we'll stand different. That's fine.
Yeah. So, AKU, so you think we should go? I mean, I think that's a pretty solid idea. We definitely have to address defense, and I would be overly thrilled if they call a linebacker's name in the first round. I really would, because that would show that things are changing from the top. So that's where you build championships, is through the draft. We know that. So we gotta take advantage of this opportunity that we have this coming April, because it doesn't come along very often. We have to seize the day with this thing. We really do. Because if we don't, we're gonna look like dog shit for a long time.
Yeah.
Hey man, let's get another linebacker in the third round. The third round has been good to us for linebackers.
Yeah.
Jordan Hicks was the last one.
Should have been fucking Jabril Cox. I really wanted him this year, but nope.
I can't believe we slept on so many players. Like it's wild. And when we came in, we thought that we were finally it was a layup. You couldn't go wrong in this draft with the amount of defensive talent. Like you really couldn't go wrong. But in some points we did. Now a lot of it remains to be seen. When we got out of Milton, when we got out of Jackson, McPherson, they still haven't proved themselves at all. So going forward next season, like that, they're going to have to show something.
Yeah.
If not, then that's another failed draft for Howie. And again, we touted this draft as a lot of people were saying A-, giving it an A-, giving it an A, saying it was great. The Williams pick was great. It's exciting. There's a lot of talent there, but production on the field hasn't been seen yet.
How bad was his injury, by the way?
Who, Williams?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
So I wonder how that makes guys feel like Malik Willis and like Matt Corral when a lot of draft analysts say that it's a weak quarterback class. I wonder how that sits with them.
It's funny because they'll say it's a weak quarterback class now, and I guarantee you, come February, all you're going to hear is Howe, and you're going to hear Corral. It's the Howe and Corral show. That's all you're going to hear. And then you'll get some sprinklings of Willis because, again, you know how they work. When it gets closer to the draft, you got to introduce a third quarterback. Right. You got to take that one guy out because people are going to lose faith in him. It's going to be the same script every year.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting because, like I said, whether it's Howie or not, we have to seize the day with this draft. We really do, because we have so many needs, and especially like AK said, especially on the defensive side of the ball, we need safety, we need linebacker, we need defensive end. In my opinion, we got to have more pass rush. I would
Still
love to
need
get,
DPs.
yeah, we
Because
do.
if
I mean,
Cox goes, you still need someone to compete with Williams for Hargrave, next to Hargrave. So you got to hit that. You need
Yeah.
defensive end because of BG. And
Not only
Derek
that,
Barnett.
Grant,
I don't
Barnett,
expect
yeah.
Barnett to be here. I don't expect Kerrigan to be here. So you need defensive ends. You know, you need linebackers. You need safeties. You need more corners. Like, there's just so many. You can't. You could throw a dart and fucking hit one, and that's what you need. You know.
Which is so upsetting, and why we wasted so many opportunities this past draft, because a lot of positions we needed could have been taken care of this season, but we ignored it for a center. We ignored it for positions that we didn't need at the time. Like it's wild to understand the thinking of Howie Roseman. It's a very difficult time to try to get in that guy's mind.
now Thibodeau, remind me, guys, that's a defensive
The
end.
from from Oregon, he's a beast. He's going to be the number one draft pick.
You think so?
He's a generational talent. That's what
Wow.
Detroit's going to go after. Detroit needs a quarterback badly, but they won't do it. They're going to go get him if they're the first pick.
That's yeah. Because
Hey, I got a question. Would you trade 2 first for him?
Sure would. That's what I was saying before. With our draft capital, it makes sense to move up to the first round, to the first pick. If Miami stays the way they're going and they're the second pick, I wouldn't see why we shouldn't move up to the first pick. It wouldn't cost us much.
That would be like, so that's like getting a. So would you say is he at the same level as like a Chase Young? Yeah, at that level.
Better, probably. I'd say
really? Better than Chase Young. Damn.
Dude, the kid last year was killing it. He was killing it last year, and this season he started off, came back from injury. He started off a little slow. People question him. Look at him now, back to form. That's why so many people are high on him, because he was injured. He did have a slow start, and he got right back to form quickly.
No live Foothills. You could probably say Aaron Darnold-esque.
I'm going to say this.
But he's a defensive end, right?
Yeah.
Javon Curse in his prime.
Oh, I got one. No, I got one.
That's what I'm talking
Peppers. No, I got one. Peppers.
Yeah.
Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers. Yeah.
I would love that. I would absolutely, because that's, I feel that would a generational pass rusher like that could do wonders for this defense. It could make your secondary look so much better. If you got a consistent pass rush, a guy that basically can get to the quarterback whenever he damn near wants, basically. So, that's something that I would really be interested in. If that takes moving up in the draft, then I would be very, very happy if we got a player of that magnitude.
I mean, I would even hate to compare this guy to him a little bit, but you could even say Justin Tuck. I don't know if y'all remember him.
Look, quick like Javon Curse.
Even though he was a giant, man, Justin Tuck was a fucking monster.
Yeah, that's a good comment from Gio from the 215. He says he's got a quick release like Javon Curse and built like Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's what I want on this team, man. I want someone that's gonna wreak havoc.
What? Matt Ryan? What? No way.
No.
Someone mentioned that earlier. Because they're saying that Atlanta will get rid of Matt Ryan. Since Matt Ryan's a Philly kid, he's going to come back home. He's not fucking Joe Flacco. We're not doing those deals.
No.
Now, I will say this, though. Had Matt Ryan been let go last season from Atlanta, yeah, he would have probably been here.
Now, this is my ultimate question, though, and I have to ask you this. Do you truly think that Nick Sirianni can manage a scrambling quarterback, or does he need more of the traditional quarterback where he's more pocket-esque, but he can run kind of like Joe Burrow, so to speak, because if you look at who's been successful under him, Brissett, he can scramble. Like, he's not a scrambling quarterback, but he can get out of the way. You had Rivers. Now, granted, he was old as dirt, but he could go if he need be, but he was a pocket guy. And then you also had who was the other one?
Yeah, Luck, but I don't think he had him. I don't think he was there for Luck.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
Who was
Like,
there for Luck?
Well, matter of fact, yeah, he didn't have Luck. 'Cause Luck left that offseason. That's when he got Brissett.
yeah.
So he came in
So
with Brissett.
don't you think he's more like a okay?
Yeah.
Let's put it. He's more of a Wentz guy. He's more of a Wentz quarterback than he is a Lamar quarterback. Let's put it in
Yeah.
that sense.
Exactly, because remember when he came here, his intent was to have Carson Wentz as his starter. His whole doing his
Right.
homework and his whole research on Philadelphia was because of Carson Wentz. He clearly said it when he came in. We studied tape on Carson. We had him the whole time. He had experience with Frank. His intent was to have Carson Wentz as his quarterback. He never thought that they would trade him off. They told him it was a possibility, but I think in his mind it was told to him like, yeah, there's a chance, but I doubt it happened. And it fucking happened. Again, we're in a season where a calamity of errors happened. We didn't get the coach we wanted. For all intents and purposes, the front office doesn't have the quarterback they wanted. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that a lot of people didn't want, and I think that's why we're in the season that we're having the season we're having, because
Then there's the ultimate
nothing is what it's
question:
supposed to be.
who's available next year? That is that kind of player
In what position?
at quarterback.
Aaron
If we're
Rodgers.
talking quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers.
I know, but you bring that up, and then people are automatically talking
Oh.
his age. You only have like
Yeah.
3 years with him, and then you got to look again. If we're
Yeah, but
talking about getting a quarterback to replace Hurts, he has to fit the formula, and he has to still be at least young enough to carry us for the next 10 years. So who would that be?
No, the thing is, you can make an argument for Aaron Rodgers because yes, he is going to be here for 3 years. But guess what? You already have a quarterback that's still on a rookie scale for 3 more years in Jalen Hurts, so he can take a step back and learn from the master. There's no issue with that.
Yeah, but in the end, though, that's not the kind of quarterback Nick Sirianni coaches. So there's no point in having Hurts. You might as well get rid of
But
him.
that's what you have 3 seasons to turn him into the quarterback you want. If you get Rodgers, you have time to make Hurts what you want. If Hurts is your guy, if you're still saying that, I got this guy who's experienced, let me take care of him, let him learn from him, and let me get time to groom him the way a quarterback used to be, the way Aaron Rodgers was behind Brett Favre. He was groomed to be the starter. You do the same thing with Hurts. There's no issue with that.
You want to touch that one, Philly?
I mean, I don't think for one, Aaron Rodgers he's not going to come here, especially if Howie Roseman's our GM. that ain't happening. It's first and foremost. I think he'd more likely go to the football team before he came here to the Eagles. So, I think that if the Eagles move on from Jalen Hurts, they need to try to find some kind of. I think they need to find a rookie. I mean, not a rookie quarterback, but they need to find a veteran quarterback to kind of bridge until we can find our guy. Because I don't know
better bridge. What better bridge than Rodgers? What better bridge than Rodgers? Your team is still gonna be performing at a high level. Your quarterback is going to be learning off of that. Again, Rodgers
have to pay Rodgers a buttload of money.
If you think for 1 minute Aaron Rodgers is going to come here and play for this fucking weasel of a GM,
I'm not. I'm just saying. I wouldn't see an issue. Yeah, hypothetically, I wouldn't see an issue because again, like I said, it would only benefit Hurts to learn off of him. Again, not that Rodgers is going to interact with him and teach him himself. No, he's going to study Rodgers when he watches him.
I don't want
see how he practices, how he approaches the game. Hell no, fuck Jimmy G.
Yeah.
How Rodgers approaches the game. Again, the same way where everyone thought it was wild for Rodgers to get drafted with Brett Favre there. Look at how that turned out. Rodgers sat for 3 years. I think it was 4 years altogether, and then became the player he is. Yeah, why can't you put Jalen in the incubator and give him some time to come out? Why got to be rushed?
It's in the name, man.
Bridgewater.
Yeah. Oh, I got a question for you. Okay, let's put it this way. Would you sign Cam Newton?
Hell no. He's done. It's a wrap for Cam.
Yeah, you're right now. Our offense would look exactly the same with Cam Newton. exactly the
Might
same.
look worse.
Might be.
But I will say this: if Cam Newton is on this team, Quez Watkins becomes a factor. Jalen Rager becomes a factor. He'll try to get them the ball more. They'll become more of a factor. Don't mean we'll win more games.
He is more of a pocket passer now too. He's not much of a runner anymore. That's why I said he does have the escapability. You know, he is older. He is a veteran. He's not that old. You could make it work for a couple of years with him. He does still have an arm.
Let me ask you guys this: if we lose Sunday, should we bench Hurts? Is it Minshew Mania time?
No.
Never Minshew Mania. Listen, he is that break in case of emergency quarterback. And I mean that literally. If Hurts goes down for a good amount of time, and that's when he comes in. If he's not injured, there's no reason why we should be looking at Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, again, you started with this kid, you end with him. I
like Minshew as a backup, not a starter, a backup. That's where his quality lies with me as a backup.
Got you. Yeah, I don't think it would be. I think it would be detrimental for Hurts if they did that. So I don't think that would be a good idea. You know, I understand. I can kind of see when people, you know, they want to see how Sirianni would maybe adjust towards a new quarterback, but I don't think he would really. I think you would see the same vanilla RPO offense that we're seeing right now. Wide receiver screen heavy. You would see the same offense. It doesn't matter really who the quarterback is. They're going to run what they want to run.
Yeah, I don't think the scheme would ever change. At least not this year.
Yeah. I don't think he could because he put so much into what he has now. He has nothing else for the moment.
What's going on, Philly Mike? Philly the podcast.
Oh my God, Philly Mike, to have you put those words down. Oh my, where were you at from 2 months ago? Hey, but you know what's crazy? Joe Flacco might be starting this week.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I don't know if he's gonna be able to learn the offense that quickly, but yeah.
Come on, it's Joe. All he knows how to do is throw downfield. It's if you ain't got nothing there, running back is your best friend. Not even your tight end, your running back. Go to your check on. Yeah, how they got Jacob Eason was awesome. I love that.
My bad. I said Mike. I meant Joe. I meant Joe. Joe Castro, Philly the podcast. My bad.
Damn, Joe. I didn't even know it was you then. I just heard him say Mike. I automatically thought it was Mike. I only see comments like that.
My bad. I'm tired. I'm tired. That's my fault.
Yeah, we're coming up on 2:40.
Yeah, we are. I know it's getting late on the East Coast for you guys.
Yeah.
And, this is morning for me, man.
Oh no. This is when I'm getting scared because I might hear a little one start crying and I'm up for the next 3 hours.
Just don't go in the woods, man.
Damn, take those. Yeah.
Stay out of the
woods. Those chips. Eat those chips real quiet, just like Adam Sandler.
Dude, you don't even understand. Like I can't even walk it around. I don't know. Like babies have like super sensitive hearing.
Go outside to fart. I'm telling you, they not only will they hear it, they'll smell it and wake them. It'll wake them up. Got to go outside to fart. Definitely.
I made the mistake the one night I was walking up the steps and I went to cough. You know, like when you try to hold in a cough, it just makes it worse.
You ever see Cyanide and Happiness?
Exactly.
You ever see Cyanide and Happiness?
No. Is that a movie?
Oh my God. No, it's a little comic thing on YouTube. You guys gotta watch it sometime. But there's a clip in there where it's Fart in the Jar Marvin. You gotta watch that shit, man. Just because you guys were talking about that, I was like, he can fart in a jar, and then I was like, fart in a jar, Marvin.
Well, so if Minshew did play good, would you guys accept him as quarterback one? Joe Castro wants to know.
Not at all.
Say no to the stash, Joe.
Like I said, I'm gonna put him in a glass jar. I'm gonna put that little writing. Break only in case of broken leg by Jalen Hurts. I don't want him again. Even with Flacco, I don't want any of them on the field. I guess our number one guy is down.
Flacco. I don't want Flacco. I don't want Cousins. I don't want Jimmy G. Screw all the.
Oh wait, hold on now.
the
I might be soft. I'm softening to the opinion of Kirk Cousins.
Really?
I like Kirk Cousins. I do. I really do. I think he went through a lot in Washington. Remember, he was the 4th-round draft pick, and the 1st-round draft pick was Robert Griffin III. He wasn't. He was there as an insurance, policy, just in case if Griffin didn't turn out. And guess what? He didn't. And the thing was, he showed out. And for 2 years in a row, they give that guy that contract, and they still don't sign him. Washington is in the position right now because what do they need right now? A quarterback. What would Kirk Cousins look like on that Washington team? They'd be pretty fucking damn good, especially with Terry McLaurin. They messed up big time. And even in Minnesota, I think he was the right guy for Minnesota. That contract he has is ridiculous. He doesn't deserve that. But I think he's a comparable quarterback. He's a pretty good one.
Whoever, I don't know if it was him or if it was his agent, whoever negotiated that contract deserves a freaking amazing, they deserve an award for that, because how they got a fully guaranteed contract for Kirk Cousins out of the Minnesota Vikings, I'll never know how they did that, because that's some David Copperfield type of shit right there. It really is.
Listen,
I mean,
I thought Sammy Sleeves beat the NFL up for some money for no reason. Listen, Stan Bradford held the NFL up for hostage. He came in and was drafted and automatically given a $50 million contract. He was the last rookie contract. Remember that? His draft class was the last one to get those deals. Now that's what created the rookie pay scale. But then after that, he signs with multiple teams and he just keeps on getting banged. But Kirk Cousins, man, his agent should get a brand new car every year from him. Whatever he wants, Kirk got to give it to him.
He gets a new Rollie for the rest of his life every year. Yeah.
He's getting that brand new Tesla truck. He's getting that new.
So Joe Castro said, so even if Minshew is better than Hurts, you still want Hurts under throwing out routes? LOL.
Are we really on Minshew? Is this serious?
I think Joe's been,
I hope it's joking.
For a minute. I think for a few weeks, Joe's been saying that Hurts is trash.
Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so.
I'm sure he's been saying that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm pretty sure he's been saying that.
Yeah, just give me a point blank. Do you think Minshew is better than Hurts at the moment?
Right. Let us know, Joe.
Yeah. Cousins will be better than those three. Especially anyone is better than Flacco.
Yeah. Cousins back to the Washington football team after this year. Possibly. You never know.
Is his contract up or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's making too much bank. Minnesota can't move him.
Carson Wentz highest quarterback rating over 4 weeks, 119.4. Really? Wow.
Hey, it's all with the compliment of Jonathan Taylor.
Right? He has
the emergence of Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, the emergence of Jonathan Taylor helped him out tremendously. I like Tyrod. Tyrod Taylor. He's a great locker room guy. I think he got shafted in LA where they fucking stabbed him up with a needle and punctured his lung. That was ridiculous. You could have just told him you were going to start him over Herbert. You didn't have to almost kill him.
Throw in the shoe. When he says the shoe, he means Minshew. Throw in the shoe.
Listen, I don't want Uncle Rico on the field at all.
Yeah, he's thinking Minshew's better option for us right now. That's what Joe's saying. Castro's sticking to it. He's on the Minshew.
Joe, where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong, my guy? What did this to you? See, I told you at the beginning of the show, at the top of the show, we are all in different stages of grief.
Drop the link.
Joe is at
get it on the floor. Get it on the floor.
Joe is at denial right now. That's his.
It's debate time. Vic versus Jekyll. Round 1. Ding ding ding.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's a capable backup, but when you're coming from Jacksonville, like you said before, you can polish up a turd a little bit. He didn't have much competition in Nick Foles.
He's calling you out, Joe.
Remember, I was the Minshew guy. I told you I was all about Minshew. No one wanted Minshew here more than me. Check the tape. Back in July? I was talking about Minshew.
And I think so.
Yeah. Like I said, I know the guy's game, but I understand his limitations. He's not a starting quarterback anymore. You're wishing down the wrong well.
I'm
Come
gonna
on,
send
everybody in the chat. Joe. No, just playing.
I about to say, don't put that out there because then Eagles' chance to come back on.
No, I figure we'll be on. We'll go for another 15 minutes because we're at 2 hours 45 minutes now. I just sent the link to Joe's Twitter. So Castro, if you want to jump on with us for a few minutes and debate this Hurts Minshew thing, we can definitely do that.
I want to sit back and listen.
I'm just shocked more than anything. That's just me. I'm just shocked.
Joe, Joe, he said, "What has Hurts done?" LMAO.
I
Come
get it,
on,
my
so
guy.
he can
I get the
explain it.
frustration.
Come on.
I understand the frustration, but I'll answer your question with the same question. What has Minshew done?
Oh snap! No, he didn't.
You always made me spit.
That's what she said.
That gets a double one. That gets a double laugh. Hey-o.
Funny
Hey,
things
double
at
time.
one.
Joe said, "I mean, Minshew did his thing on a terrible Jaguars team
For one season, and it wasn't even a full season because before the end of that season, what was it, week 10? I think there was already rumblings on Minshew Mania was already done with. So the guy was the flash in the pan. Let's be honest. Like I said, he's a great backup. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick, just younger with a better stash. Fitzpatrick got the beard. Minshew got the stash. He gives you 3 games at max. After that, the expiration date has run its course. Like he's expired. He's done.
What you got,
in the
Joe?
building. What's going
What
on,
you
Joe?
got, Joe?
Welcome in, Philly
Tell
the
him.
podcast.
Murder this kid. Tell him.
We got a goat in the building. There's a goat in the building.
Not far from that. No, but I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think that Gardner Minshew has proven more in his time as a NFL player than Jalen Hurts has. Jalen Hurts has literally not progressed at all since week 1 or since his first start in the NFL, which was last year. I know everybody wants to talk about how he's a rookie. He's not. He's played 2 years in this league and has not gotten better at all. I mean, it's just simple. I mean, his rookie year, my guy's rookie year went 21-6 with the Jaguars. That's what Minshew did. His second year in 9 games had 16 touchdowns. I mean, Minshew can throw the ball, and Minshew was on a terrible team. His lowest completion rating, I think, was like 61, which I think right now is Jalen Hurts' highest. So, I mean, look, I'm not saying that Gardner Minshew can save this franchise. I'm just asking, what's the point in not seeing what he has? No, I feel like everybody already thinks they know what Minshew is. But if you did, I think you wouldn't mind seeing what he did in this offense. I mean, 37 touchdowns to 11 interceptions for his career. About 63%. I mean, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, what
But
you
you
got now?
got to understand too, though. The reason why they bring Minshew in here is because he's backup. He's not going to get a chance. No one is giving
I don't think
Minshew
that's
a
true.
chance as a starter.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I think that Gardner Minshew was brought in here because he's still only, I think, 26, I think he is. And he was a 6th-round pick about 2 years ago. And realistically, this was the perfect situation for him. We gave up a draft pick for him. That's why he didn't go anywhere else. I'm sure another team would have picked him up if he became a free agent. We gave up a draft pick for him.
We got Gardner Minshew because his relationship with Coach Sirianni beforehand. And Coach Sirianni knew that he could be the backup. And also for the fact that we gave Joe Flacco a ridiculous contract. And we needed to get rid of him.
That's assumptions.
That was why we got Gardner Minshew.
Those are assumptions.
It was a 5th-round pick.
Those aren't facts.
Come on, man.
Facts. Those are
where's Joe Flacco right now? Where's Joe Flacco?
But what does that have to do with Minshew? What does that have to do with
Because
Minshew?
it has everything to do with
Is Joe Flacco 26 years old?
It doesn't matter. The age doesn't matter again because if it did,
we're looking for a young quarterback, right?
So we're giving Barnett another chance next year. He's a young guy.
What does
We're going
Barnett
to get
have
Diller
anything
next year.
to do with
No,
Gardner
no, because
Minshew
you're
and
saying
Jalen
because of
Hurts?
the age. No, I'm referring to what you're saying.
No,
You're
I'm
saying because
talking about
Gardner
our
Minshew's
quarterback
26.
position. I'm talking about our
Yeah, but
quarterback
you're saying the
position.
reason why you're giving him his chance is because of his age. So when you're saying
Yes,
just because of his
because
age,
he's shown in the 2 years that he's played at 26 right now that he can play good football. I think that he won the Jaguars like 5 games. Like, I mean, let's be real. They pulled him out last year because he was doing too good. If we're being 100% honest, they were on the full tank for Trevor Lawrence.
yeah, and well, let's be honest, the reason why he got that starting job in the Jaguars the first place, yeah, he did play good, but also they spent a lot of money on Nick Foles and they found a way out of it. Let's keep it 1,000.
And that has nothing to do with that. Gardner Minshew
It
started
does.
over.
It all plays into it. It
So I
all
don't
plays
get what that
into
has
it.
to do with it. It
Because that's
doesn't.
why he
It doesn't.
became the starter. Because we've seen it in his first year, week 10, what happened? That's where Cardinals' decline came in. The next year, he had a decent, but again, he
Who's
declined as
declined?
well.
Gardner's
Gardner
declined.
hasn't.
Gardner got benched in his
Gardner's game
second
has
year.
declined in this first season.
So Gardner
In his first
averaged
season, when he
more
took over
yards per
Foles
game in
ended up
his
taking
second
over
season. Had
him.
a better QBR in his second season.
It's great, but
Had a better
again, he still got
completion
replaced in his first season when
percentage.
you're saying he was at his best. He still got
My God,
replaced.
context, my dude, context. I lived in Jacksonville for
Correct.
almost
And
7-8 years. I know what they
I
were
get it,
doing.
but
They
that's what
did
I was
not. They
giving you true
wanted Trevor
context on the reason
Lawrence.
why he came here and how he got to the position he was. It's all about context. I
Okay,
get
but
it.
now we're
But
here
Gardner
where
Minshew's
we
not going
are.
to get
Now
that position because he's going to be 3 games. Again, he's a backup. 3 games at best. After that, you're not going to get anything out of him. You can start Gardner Minshew, but guess what? He's not going to
So let
give
me
you
ask you this. Let me ask you this. What happened from last year that now all of a sudden he's just a 3-game guy? Where did that
He was
come
always
from?
a 3-game guy.
Where so a 3-game guy can get 37 touchdowns and 11 interceptions in his career. A 3-game
Dude,
guy can have a higher
a
completion
3-game guy
percentage than.
won a Super Bowl. What are we talking about? A 3-game guy
What
won
are
a
you
Super Bowl.
talking about?
Nick Foles is
That makes
another
zero
3-game guy
sense.
that won a Super Bowl.
So you're comparing Nick Foles to Gardner Minshew.
No.
You're
Again, I'm
comparing
not comparing. I'm
30-year-old
saying
Nick Foles
you're not understanding what
to
I'm
a
saying. What I'm telling
26-year-old
you is
Minshew. I'm not, because it
there's
doesn't make
3
sense, to
quarters
be honest.
because there are backups that can give you only a little bit, not a lot. That's a backup that's going to give you a little bit, not a lot. He's not a starter. Whether you
How is
want
he
him
a
to be a starter
backup
because
that'll
you're
give you?
frustrated.
That makes
So
no
where's
sense. No, I'm not saying. Look. Like I said, I'm not saying that he's going to be the savior of this team. What I'm saying is that he's a good enough quarterback that you can play him, and he'll do better than Jalen Hurts right now. I understand that everybody loves Jalen Hurts, but you know what Gardner Minshew won't do is underthrow 5-yard passes. That's why I
I'm
want to
just trying
see
to
him
figure
out.
out where all this love from Gardner Minshew came when last year there was none.
It's not
That's what I'm
love
trying
for
to figure
Gardner
out.
Minshew. First of all, I was
Nah,
one
but
of
it's
the
not.
people
It
in
sounds
the
like the same
offseason
problem
saying
that
that we
Phillies
should
fans
buy him.
have, where the backup is the best player on the team. That's the issue.
Hold on.
The backup's always the best player on the team, and then when the quarterback does
Okay.
wrong, the backup's always going to be the next guy that can do it.
Well,
Can't.
when you have one win a Super Bowl, what do you expect?
That has nothing. None of that has to do with anything. Right now, we're in a position that we have a 2nd-round pick that is not playing well. Right now, we are in the position that we might draft a quarterback next year. Right now, we have a quarterback in Gardner Minshew that, even if it's just to up his value and ship him out next year, even if that's all you do, there's literally nothing you lose by playing Gardner Minshew. And to answer the question that I keep getting asked, yes, I think that Gardner Minshew would do better than Jalen Hurts would. I definitely think so. I don't think that Jalen Hurts has proven anything. Jalen Hurts is not a starter. You can sit here and say that, oh, he's this, he's that. He's a starter by default. That's what he is right now. Gardner Minshew is just as much of a starter as Jalen Hurts is. Neither of them were supposed to start for their respective teams, but here we are. Now, so if we look at Gardner Minshew's actual career and not just assume that he's a backup because he came from the Jags, if you look at his actual career, the man's played some really good games. So I'm not sure where the.
Well,
hold on, let me just finish. I'm not really sure where the comparisons come to, like Nick Foles and all that stuff. What I'm saying right now is that Jalen Hurts versus Gardner Minshew, and if we only just took the first year, Gardner Minshew had a way better first year than Jalen Hurts, and I'm counting this year as his first year. So first 11 versus first 11, I'm taking Gardner Minshew's first 11, and he was on the Jaguars. And the Jaguars, in my opinion, were worse in 2019 than we are right now.
And I understand what he's saying. I mean, to a point where it's like we are already bad. So what will it hurt? I mean, it can't get any worse, so you might as
Well,
well
the
just
thing
go
is,
ahead and see what
the
he's
thing is,
got.
what you're not thinking about, the same thing that Joe said, you don't want to devalue Gardner Minshew. You want to raise up his value. What do you think that's going to do to Jalen Hurts' value? How are you going to move Jalen Hurts? You're not going to.
How are we going
You
to move
just
him now?
devalued him by
You
benching him.
realistically think we'll get a draft pick for Jalen Hurts right now? You think if Jalen Hurts
Dude,
was on the
no
trade
one,
block, we would get some?
hold on.
No.
Let me
Okay.
answer you with this. When I first said we should get Gardner Minshew for a fifth, everyone said no, that couldn't happen, but it happened, correct?
I was
You
on
never
my
know.
show
You
continuously
can't
saying.
say something would never happen because it always ends up happening. You can't say that.
Okay, that's totally different. So let me answer the question I asked. Do you realistically think a team would actually give us a draft pick for Jalen Hurts?
If Jalen Hurts can play, did I knock off? If Jalen Hurts can play the whole season and he can show something, I guarantee you a team would want to get
That's
Jalen
a
Hurts
lot
because
of
they're going
ifs.
to want a
That's a
young
lot of
quarterback.
ifs. And
Just like there's a lot of ifs behind
was a
Minshew.
fifth, bro, we'd all be drunk. Right
Exactly.
now.
If Minshew was better, he'd be
Right
starting.
now.
If Minshew was way better, he'd be
Come on,
starting
man.
right
Come
now.
on, man. Come on. Right now.
We're talking about ifs,
Right
but when
now.
the if comes that way, you don't like them.
Nobody wants an if. I literally didn't. I said if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. I'm asking you right now, if Jalen Hurts was on the trade block, do you realistically think that anybody would send a draft pick for him?
Do you think anyone's sending for Gardner?
Can you answer
You
the
just
question?
said it. We're the only team to do it. That's why we got him.
Can you answer the question?
Do I think someone trade? You know what? Honestly, yeah, because someone would right now, especially Miami, if they couldn't get anything with Deshaun, you think they wouldn't try to get a chance at it? So yeah, I do think someone would try to get Jalen Hurts.
They giving up on Tua, and Tua's done better than Jalen Hurts. I mean, like no, I don't think that they would try and
Jalen Hurts. No, you cannot say Tua's done better than Jalen Hurts. So that's false. And also, when you were like Jalen Hurts, hold on, I want to go back. When you were like Jalen Hurts didn't show improvement. Jalen Hurts showed massive improvement in his first 3 games this season, and compared to the last 4 from last year.
How?
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Like how?
Go check the stats.
What has he got?
Check the stats. Hold on. Jalen was top 5 in passing and I think still second in rushing. His stats and down on interceptions and touchdowns. And he had 7 called back. You can't say that he hasn't improved. He's gotten better. I think you're upset at what's going on right now. That's what's leading to your opinion.
If you take away his first game, his completion percentage is worse than last year. Realistically. That's what the stats tell me. The stats also tell me that he's had 3+ seconds in the pocket on average, which is the highest in the NFL, and he has the lowest completion percentage on that 3+ seconds. That's what the stats have been telling me.
And you think all that's going to get better with Gardner Minshew?
Yes, I do. I think that Gardner Minshew will get the ball out of his hands, and he knows how to run a pro-style offense. Yes.
I honestly hope that he would get that opportunity because I would love to hear your rebuttal when it doesn't work.
I asked the question earlier. I want to get your opinion real fast. Would you even think about Cam Newton to take over to finish off the season?
No, I want a young guy. I did a video earlier about what I would do in this offseason. And it's not, and even in that video, I said if you want to keep Jalen Hurts because you don't like any of these quarterbacks, that's fine. But this is supposed to be a learning season, right? That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be learning about this roster. And guess what? Gardner Minshew is on this roster. You know, if we're so quick to say, let's get rid of Nick Sirianni, one and done, you have to evaluate him. Yes, just saying you have to make Jalen Hurts work is not a fair evaluation. If Jalen Hurts is handcuffing him, which I'm not saying that's the case, but if that's what's happening, then let's see that. Let's see that. At the end of the day, quarterbacks are what save coaches' jobs, not the other way around.
Well, and that's why. And no, I meant Cam Newton as now. Like if we would sign him now, just to see, because like I said, he's more of a pocket quarterback now than a scrambler because of his age. So
I don't think he's that good. Honestly, right now, if this was 2 or 3 years ago, maybe. But right now, Cam Newton's just not that good, in my opinion. I could be wrong.
But Joe,
arm-wise, he's better, right?
Like you said, and I've been saying this whole offseason, this season is an evaluation season. This is an evaluation season for Jalen Hurts to see if he should be the quarterback next year. This was never evaluation for Gardner Minshew. No one cares about him.
On this team.
Yeah, but it don't matter. But again, what you're not understanding is no one's putting in that much.
Vic, you my guy. Vic, you my guy, but there's
No
there's
one,
a
no one
certain
is
thing
looking
you
at
got to
Gardner
do.
Minshew to be the
It's
starter, my
listening
guy.
to other people's opinion, my guy. You came into this with your own. And listen, I don't even hate Jalen Hurts. I know everybody likes to say that I hate Jalen Hurts. I'm just being honest with what I see. If you can realistically sit here and say that he's gotten better when he just put up 67 yards in 3 quarters, I really have a hard time believing that. I'm sorry, I really have a hard time believing that.
I get it, but how are you going to say you're going to give him an evaluation season if you don't give him the season?
He's played in the league for 2 years, my guy. Like, what else do you need
But
to
I get
evaluate?
no. Listen. The thing was, this is an evaluation season. Give him the evaluation. That's all
So
I'm
just
saying.
let him
I don't
suck
care
the
if he's
rest of
here
the
next
year
year.
and
I
have
don't
no
want him.
idea what
I don't think he's doing
okay.
great. I think we should go for a quarterback in the draft. I'm not saying that, but again, if you're going to say you're going to do an evaluation season, give him a damn season.
I
You're not giving him a
I give
shot by putting
Minshew a
Minshew in.
game or two.
All it is,
I
all
give
that would
Minshew a
do,
game or two and figure out
all
what
that
he
would
got.
do is show
Because
that your
honestly,
GM doesn't know what
Minshew
they're
is
doing.
that I don't agree with that. That makes no sense. But hey, that's what you think. That's fine. I don't understand how people have a opinion on Gardner Minshew. And realistically, did you watch him the 2 years that he was in Jacksonville? Like,
Dude,
No, I
who
think the
again?
kid's
I'm
pretty
gonna
good.
say it again. Who was the only one talking about Gardner Minshew? It was me. It was no one else. I'm the only one that bring up that name. He's here. I
I
know about
literally
Gardner
made
Minshew, but again, I even said
my
it
guy. I
as a
literally
backup.
made
He's
many
not a
videos
starter.
about it, bro.
But
That's your
again, he's
opinion.
not
That's
a
your
starter.
opinion. That's your opinion. It took a Trevor Lawrence for them to want to get him out. Let's be 100% honest. But hey,
But again,
that's
that
your
all goes in
opinion.
with what's going on down there. They need to push tickets. They needed a face. Gardner Minshew's not selling tickets. That's all the politics
So
behind
that's
that
what
football
we're
too.
basing our
That's the politics behind football. You know it.
franchise
It's all
quarterback on.
politics.
But Trevor
Hey,
Lawrence,
that's
That's what we're
the Jaguars' problem. That's not ours.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. What does that have to do with anything? I'm saying I don't care if he sells tickets. I care if he wins games.
Yeah, but you're acting like politics don't play a factor in it. It does.
I'm not like I don't work for the team. I'm telling you what I would do. I mean, like what they're gonna do is probably totally different from what I would do, but that's not my problem. Like at the end of the day, I'm telling you what I would do. And what I would do is give the kid that's on your bench that has played some good games a chance. He's gotten better in both years. I mean, give him a chance. You never know what's gonna happen. Maybe he is that guy. Maybe he's not, and you realize you got to go out and get a whole new quarterback. I mean, that's what an evaluation should be. It should be about finding out what the next move is. And to just say, well, keep him on the bench, it makes no sense to see what he got. I can't agree with that. It just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like you should figure out what the heck he has.
But the same argument
Like
you're
we
making
have
for
a
Minshew is
quarterback
what we're
right
doing for
now.
Hurts. We
Not
drafted
We
him.
have
We
a
didn't draft
quarterback right
Minshew.
now.
Not just
We
that,
have a
you have to look
quarterback
at
right
it in
now.
this way too. That if you put in Gardner as well, you get to see if it's Nick Sirianni. You know that's one way to
Exactly.
also see who if that is the issue. Because if you put in Nick or if you put in Minshew and you have the same issue, then you know it's Nick. But if you put in Minshew and it starts to thrive, then you know it was Jalen. It kind of it kills two birds with one stone.
yeah, that's true. I mean,
Exactly.
there's some validity to that. I would say so. You know, if you're really trying to evaluate coach and quarterback, maybe that's something the Eagles need to explore.
Yeah.
I mean, he won
Oh,
6
that's
games
lead you
with the
down a hole.
What's it
Jaguars in
gonna
his
hurt?
rookie year.
Yeah.
He won 6 games with the Jaguars in his rookie year. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't be looking at that, but there's no way you can tell me he would do worse with this team. I just can't see it. I just can't see it. There's zero consistency from Jalen Hurts this year. There's zero, in my opinion, progression as far as his actual gameplay has gone. Yes, some of his stats look a little bit better, but at the end of the day, that's again, you have to dig into his context. The plays are very easy. He's throwing 3 or 4 5-yard passes. Of course, your numbers are going to go up a little bit. Like I just don't know what to say. He's got already almost double the yak yards that he had last year. He's already got, he's throwing his completed air yards are under 5 yards. That's really who you want to like. I don't understand why people want to die on that hill. He has not been good. He just has not been good. I don't know what the love affair is, to be honest. I don't get it. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Like, y'all know y'all my guys. Now, don't take this wrong. But, like, I just really don't understand why people want to defend him to death. Like, He hasn't done anything. He really hasn't done anything.
It's nothing to defend him because I'm not. But like I said, if you're going to say you're going to give him an evaluation, give him the evaluation. What's the point? You're just messing up your own team by constantly putting a carousel of quarterbacks in here. Because what happens if Meshu doesn't work? You already sat Jalen. You're stuck, aren't you?
But that shows you the Nick's the issue.
Exactly.
If
but
it
all right,
doesn't
so then
work-
Nick's the issue. So you're going to get rid of Nick. You're still looking for a quarterback. You're still that's
Yes
still
and no.
going to happen.
Worry about that later.
and
But
no.
the coach is the more important part because that's what makes the franchise move forward.
And realistically, who's to say we're still looking for a quarterback? If Nick Sirianni's trash, maybe they give Jalen another year. Maybe they give Gardner a whole year. Maybe they, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe the coach who comes in makes that decision. I mean, at the end of the day, we need to start making football decisions. We need to stop worrying about these people like and their feelings. Like, I really don't care about these guys' feelings. It is what it is. Maybe that's me. But I really don't care about how these people feel if they don't start. If you don't start, that probably means you weren't good enough. So that's where I'm at. Go ahead and go out there and earn your spot. And I really don't think that he's earned it. Like there was a obvious improvement from Gardner Minshew from year 1 to year 2. If you look at the stats, if you look at the numbers, there was an improvement on a bad team. So in my opinion, I think that I haven't seen that from Jalen, and maybe it's not enough time. You know, like look, he played. I think he played 20 games total. Gardner Minshew. So we're at 11 right now. So maybe in 9 games everything turns around. But
Like
I just
Rodgers?
don't see it happening. Huh?
No. From the comments, someone's like, if Minshew wins, would you grow out your mustache? I'm like Aaron Rodgers, like the whole handlebar.
You should.
You'd have
I
to.
would.
Yeah.
Shit. If Gardner Minshew play good, bro, I want everybody to give me my flowers because I don't. Because I've been saying it for a couple weeks.
And remember, when he does it, I'll be right there to say, "I told you so."
Careful with the F word today, Joe. The flowers word. We got to be careful with that word today.
Oh yeah.
With what? Flowers.
But
hey,
no,
man, if you water them, it'll grow.
Wrong if I'm wrong, bro.
All I'm saying, man, is we got nothing left to lose.
You own it.
We really don't. Like, we're 2-5. Like, we have nothing left to lose.
Hey,
What
I think
more?
it's too reactional right
We're
now.
already at the bottom. The only way to go is up. So fuck it.
It's too early to do all that right now. It's way too early.
If it's too early,
realistically, we're only 2 games out of the wild card right now.
If it's peep game. If it's too early, I want y'all to start keeping the same energy for everybody. If it's too early for Jalen because he's a rookie, then it's too early for this coaching staff too.
Facts.
If
I said that already.
You can't,
I already said that.
You can't evaluate facts, then if you can't evaluate Jalen Hurts in this system, then you can't evaluate Nick Sirianni with these players. You can't evaluate Jonathan Gannon with these players. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. I feel like Eagles fans, we love to nitpick who we want to be mad at, and you can't do that. You can't do that. You have to be honest around the. You know what I'm saying? Around the circle. Everybody has to get looked at the same way. And I don't feel like we're doing that. So, look, I want to see if Nick Sirianni can do it with another quarterback. That's that. If we get out of this season and we just are in the same exact spot as we are right now, this is a wasted season, in my opinion. We didn't learn anything.
Right. I mean, I was interested. I was kind of hoping that Carson was going to stay because I kind of wanted to see Carson in Nick Sirianni's offense. You know, I wanted to see if we can put a running game around him, kind of like they've done now in Indianapolis, and let him just really manage games and get us some wins. And you see that's what they're doing. It's not a difficult recipe, you know, for a quarterback like Carson Wentz. You just got to have the right pieces around him, and you got to have the right play calling.
Yeah,
like I feel like that's what before, like
quarterback.
But like you were saying before about the fans, like I said before, it's like everybody's in a different stage of grief. I'm at the point where I'm at acceptance. I understand what it was. Beginning, this was the evaluation season. We shouldn't have expected 10 games. You know what I'm saying? 12 games. There was some saying undefeated because we looked at the schedule.
It's not,
but when the actuality is, what was that?
Yeah, that's definitely not where I'm at. I definitely don't. I'll say every game that we're going to win it. Don't get me wrong. But prior to the season, obviously, I thought we were like 6 to 9 wins at the most. And I knew this was an evaluation season. But, I mean, Jalen ain't
We're
doing
expecting
good.
more than what it's supposed to. I think I think that's what it is. We're expecting more than it should have been. If this is an evaluation
I'm
season, you know there's
expecting
gonna be some hard
competent
times.
play. I'm just expecting competent play.
That's
With
not
every
asking a
rookie
lot.
that I've seen, with every rookie that I've seen or young quarterback that I've seen, you've seen at the very least flashes. You know what I'm saying? You've seen at least people bring up Josh Allen having a bad rookie year, but you saw his arm. You saw the arm talent he had. You saw at 6 whatever he is, 6 like 20, whatever the heck he is, he can run. Like you saw the talent there. With Jalen Hurts, and I've continuously asked this, what is he good at? He's a good leader and he's a good athlete. That's not a quarterback. Outside of the leader, I guess that's good to be a leader, but I can't think of any of his quarterback attributes that make him a viable franchise guy.
Well, when you were mentioned before about the rookies, you seen something out of Trey Lance?
Definitely.
I don't see much. I see there's a lot of difficulty.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
going to
saw
take him a while to learn the
29.
game.
I saw 29 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in his college career, undefeated. I've seen a crazy strong arm, and I've seen accuracy. I mean, I don't see that from Jalen Hurts. Trey Lance.
But do you see that with him and the 49ers?
Accuracy.
That's what I mean. I mean, with the 49ers,
I mean,
his time with
how
the
long has he
49ers.
played with the 49ers? It's only been like, what, 2 games?
Correct. But I'm saying, you see anything out of him. Same thing with Fields. That's another one.
Oh, definitely. I definitely see something with Fields. I mean, look, Matt Nagy is trash. Matt Nagy's one of the worst coaches in the league, easily. I'd put him up there with Nick Sirianni. Like, he's a terrible head coach. Terrible head coach. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'd definitely, as far as talent goes, I would definitely take Justin Fields. And I said that in the beginning of the season. I thought that Justin Fields would have been a good guy to draft, especially if you were at number 6. I definitely see the talent.
Yep.
I don't know. I think out of all the rookie ones, I think Lance is the most disappointing.
I mean, he's had a QBR over 100 twice, and he had a perfect QBR against the Lions. So let's see what happens with Jalen Hurts. Can he have a perfect QBR against the Lions? Look, if he loses to the Lions and it's his fault, he has to go. I'm sorry. You're nobody, and I'll give y'all a preview of what that will look like. It's going to look like me being a very big Jalen Hurts hater, because if we lose to the Detroit Lions, who Trey Lance put up 41 points on, nobody's telling me that Jalen Hurts is a franchise guy. I'm sorry. I know that winning is a team stat, but we've been losing these games mainly because of our offense. And I know everybody wants to blame it on the defense, but our offense literally does nothing in the first 3 quarters. Yeah. Literally nothing. If that happens again, it's on Hurts, man. And it might be on this coaching staff as well. Don't get me wrong. But at that point, I want to see a different quarterback, and I want to see what he'll do. Because if you lose to the Lions, there's nothing redeeming about this season. I'm sorry. Maybe that's very reactive, and it probably is, but I can't sit here and be excited about him if we lose to the Lions. And if we lose bad, really bad. I'm not doing it.
No, and I agree. Hold on real quick. And I agree, man, and I believe that if we lose to Detroit, that's where the QB change happens.
Yeah. As it should.
Let me ask you a question, though. If we were to win against the Lions, do you think that the reactions change? Everyone flip-flops? Everyone's all in paradise now? Everything's all good?
I'm sure there will be some people like that, but not for me. I mean, we should win this game. Like, I don't care how bad we have been. Like, there's no way that we lose this game, in my opinion. It depends on how it looks too. Like, if for some reason our defense is just absolutely ghastly that day, and Jared Goff just takes it over, it could happen. A lot of people are down on the defense because they've given up 80+% against I think it was Brady, Mahomes, and Derek Carr, who's playing like Mahomes. Like, yeah, I mean, realistically, Derek Carr is having one of his best seasons, I think, of his career. He's averaging over 300 yards. He's going crazy this year. So I'm not giving an excuse for this defense. That's still not what you want to see. Don't get me wrong. But I think they've been locking down who they need to lock down. And I think that Jared Goff is a guy that they will maybe not lock down, but I don't see why he should go crazy against us. Like, look, the Detroit Lions have played very well this year, and as well as you can play for being 0-7, I guess. But they've been in a lot of games. Like, I think against one of the teams, it took like a miracle field goal at the end to win it. They've had a couple games that they could have won. They could have been 2-5 just like us. So we're not that much better than them. But this will be an all falls down moment. If we lose to them and it's on our offense, I want to see everything change. I want to see a lot of changes, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of changes are needed, but like I said, I think we'll squeak out this game. But it's the New York Giants, then goes the Jets. That little back-to-back, that's why I say that'll be the straw that breaks the camel's back. If we lose those two games, it's a wrap from there.
Yeah, and there's 17 games. I just don't want to be in the same position as we were last year, that we keep on holding on to Hurts or onto Wentz just because we're technically not mathematically out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that anymore. Like, let's just figure out what the hell we are and move on from there. Let's figure out who because and I don't want to put this all on Jalen Hurts, but I don't really know what Devontae Smith is. I don't know what Quez is, and that's because Jalen Hurts can't get them the ball. We're gonna get Tyree Jackson back. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna get the ball? Like, that's a real question we have to ask. And with Minshew, at least I know he'll spread the ball around. He might not be a franchise guy. He might not be here next year, but at least I know he'll spread the ball around. Jalen Hurts has a very, very bad habit of staring down Devontae Smith, and that hurts Devontae Smith just as much as it hurts everybody else. People know our plays not only because they're very vanilla and Nick Sirianni's not changing stuff up, but because you can just follow Jalen Hurts' eyes. His eyes tell you where he's going way before the play even starts.
Now, let me ask, if you're moving on from Hurts and say Minshew's not the guy, do you go into the draft or are you getting a free agent quarterback?
I don't see any free agents that are really worthwhile. My whole thought process, like I said, I made a whole video about it. If I was, speaking to Howie and telling him what I think he should do, if your staff, if your scouting staff, if your scouting department, because we have one of those, Howie, I don't know if he realizes that sometimes, but if your scouting staff says, hey, this guy's can't miss. I know everybody's saying Matt Corral, whatever you want to, whoever it may be. If you look at a guy and you're like, this guy's a can't miss guy, we have to take him in the first round, then shoot your shot. But if you don't see anybody, hold out a year, maybe trade your last first round pick to try and get in the first round again next year and build a team. You know what I'm saying? Just build a team. I don't want to say build around necessarily Hurts or build around Minshew, but build a team. Get a solid core of players. Because, we got Carson Wentz, but we had our team figured out before we got Carson Wentz. And they were old, don't get me wrong, and we can't get in that position again because we had like a 3, maybe 4-year window, and we kind of blew it. So, I mean, we can't get in that position again. So we have to take this year and really build a team. Quarterback might take a year. It might take a year. It might take 2. But I just think we have to be realistic. Like, we can't just keep saying, like, give him time. If there's somebody out there that's better than him, go get him. Like, it should be a no-brainer, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree.
But, I mean, I will say this. I'll leave on a positive note. I do feel that we have a lot more talent than we did in 2016, especially on the offense. So I think that if you get a good quarterback in, and I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts is trash. I don't want to sit here and sound like a hater of him. I really don't hate the kid. But, if you get a quarterback or if Jalen Hurts can improve to the point that he's actually making good decisions, I think you can really make something shake with this team. I think this is a good offensive team. The defense, I like them this year, but next year, I don't know how many of them are going to be here, to be honest. Like, I hate our linebackers, but our defensive line is old outside of Javon Hargrave. Derek Barnett, I don't trust. Josh Sweat, I don't think he's somebody you can really build around. Milton Williams hasn't done anything. I mean, you could go down the list. Outside of Javon Hargrave, I don't know what our defensive line is going to look like next year. Our cornerbacks are mad old. So I don't know what that's going to look like next year. And our secondary hasn't been that good. So, I mean, offensively, I actually think that we're in a good spot. We're just kind of a quarterback away. But I don't think that defensively, I think it's going to be – defensively, we're going to be looking at this team and being like, damn. Like next year, if we don't draft all defense, we're going to be looking at this team like, damn, bro. Like all we need is a defense now. So, I say don't give up everything. Don't sell the farm for a quarterback. Don't go get Russell Wilson. Don't get, Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson. Don't give up all that to get somebody like that, in my opinion. It just doesn't make sense. You're giving up all those assets when you need a lot of players. So to answer your question, I think that you have to build a team. Like I said, if you find somebody that you're like, he's a no-brainer, he's a, dead shot, this guy's going to be that guy, then you have to take that shot. You have to. The quarterback position is the most important spot in sports, like not even just football. In sports, there's no other position that's as important as a quarterback is to football. So you have to take that shot. But if there's not somebody there, you have to realize that, understand that, and know, okay, let's build our team now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we go into next season, we're going to be looking at 7 positions on the defensive side of the ball where we're going to need to fill.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like Birdman _951, he said Howie wants Corral. So that's going to be. Yeah, Howie's been rumored to like Matt Corral, so we'll see if that has any longevity to that rumor. But I don't know. The quarterback class just isn't overly impressing me so far yet. This coming class, and I don't even know if Corral's going to even declare for the draft. He's only I believe he's only a sophomore.
Yeah,
Sure,
usually
if he knows he's going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah.
He will. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's only been one, and that's Matt Leinart. And look at how that decision turned out for him.
Yeah. I will say this. I haven't looked into Matt Corral. I haven't looked into any of these quarterbacks. I really haven't looked into any of I'm a Penn State fan. And honestly, I know our quarterback sucks. So as long as we don't get him, we're good. But realistically, Joe, I haven't looked into any of these guys. Y'all know me. I don't like giving opinions till I actually know. But I am going to this week start looking into some of these draft prospects and see what I think so I can start talking back. But, I mean.
Yeah, as long as
let me ask you a quick question on that Penn State tip. I have a question for you on Penn State. Do you think it's time to get rid of Franklin?
I've been thought it was time to get rid of Franklin. That's a double-edged sword, though. Realistically. Because he has pull. And he brings in some of the best recruiting classes. I will say that, and I can't hate on him. He just can't recruit a quarterback for his life. Or he just does not know quarterback talent. Because we had Justin Fields commit to us. And then we committed to Sean Clifford, and he decommitted and left. You know what I'm saying? So we could have had Justin Fields on our team, and we probably would have won a ship or two. You know what I'm saying? With Micah Parsons, Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders. You added Justin Fields to that. KJ Hamler. Now we got Jahan Dotson. Like, we have so many good, talented players. Our tight ends, we've had like 3 or 4 tight ends go second round or higher the past 3 years. Like, I mean, we have some really good players for Penn State. It's always been when it comes down to the big game, we fold. Or when something happens, we fold. And it pisses me off. Like, it's so.
Yeah, I'm about to say, sometimes it's not even a big game because it'll be like Indiana and we fold.
Oh, my God. See, I mean, that was on Franklin because Sean Clifford was very, very limited. And I do say that Sean Clifford's trash, but if he doesn't have his running game, he's super duper trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he has no threat of running, he's super duper trash. And I know that the guy that we put in last week was trash. Like, he wasn't good.
It was bad.
You know what I'm saying? He looked really bad. But you had a whole 2 weeks. You could have maybe game planned something. Indiana is not a good team. Like, you legit – and we lost our defensive tackle, which was huge. But you literally let these boys run for like 300 yards. I think one of their running backs had 300 yards. Like, that's ridiculous, man. That's just ridiculous, bro. I'm sorry. Like, and then it went to 9 overtimes. Like, you're telling me you could not outscore Indiana. Like, it's frustrating because I've been a Penn State fan my whole life. And I've been dealing with this my whole life. Whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember seeing Tamba Holly on our freaking team. I remember seeing LeVar Arrington on our freaking team and not even breaking the top 5.
Paul Leslie.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a shout out to Tamba Holly. He follows me on Twitter and Instagram. Shout out to my guy. That's a GOAT. But, you know, either way, man, like, it just doesn't make sense. It hurts my heart, to be honest. I want to cover the Penn State Nittany Lions so bad. But you guys would really call me a hater about the Lions, because the way I talk about the Lions, you would think I hate them. You would think I'm an Ohio State fan because they piss me off every day, dude. Like, it's just like they make the dumbest decisions, man. Shout out to their kicker though; they got a good kicker.
It sounds like us right now. It sounds like us right now.
Yeah, Aaron Siposs is killing it, man.
Yeah, he is. I'll end it with this one. If you had your pick, who is the next Penn State coach?
Ooh,
that's a good one. That's a good one. I would really have to look into that. Because there's honestly some underrated names that I keep on hearing people bring up. I would really have to look. I can't say. I really can't say. I would really have to look into that. I don't think that Franklin's ever going anywhere unless he wants to. I know that, you know, he can go to the West Coast like it's nothing. Like, anybody on the West Coast would take him in a heartbeat. But I don't know. I would really have to look into that. If you look at the Lions, I mean, it's hard to say because we had the same coach for like 300 years. But, you know, when they do hire coaches, it seems like they hire guys that aren't really known. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like, I think Franklin was from Vanderbilt or something like that?
Yep,
like,
Vanderbilt.
I forget where he exactly came from. But, yeah,
he coached Jordan Matthews.
He brought up a small school, and I think that's what we'll do again. So I'd have to look. I'd have to really look. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there. Well, for me, I'm just saying this is my wish one. Not even a wish. This is something I know that would never happen. But if it did, I wouldn't be mad. That's Urban Meyer. And I don't like it because, like I said, he's a great recruiter.
I hate
Urban Meyer can bring in names. I do too. But again, in college, it's proven.
Right.
It's proven.
No,
and like I
don't
said,
get me wrong.
I'm selfish.
Like I said,
Selfishly, that's why I'm like, I want guys in
here.
there. Yeah.
Like I said, I lived in Jacksonville for like 7 years, bro. Urban Meyer is like the most hated man in Florida. Like I hate Urban Meyer. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not even like a Florida fan. I just don't like the man. Like, you know, it's like,
yeah.
But I agree. I mean, shit. If he brings us a ring, or if he brings us a playoff win, I'd love him to death.
Yeah, selfishly, like you don't like him, but you love what he does with the college game, and he'll be available.
Thanks. Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll be available. He wouldn't last in Pennsylvania though. He wouldn't last in Happy Valley.
I don't know. He's in Ohio doing it well.
Yeah, but at all the past stuff that we've had,
right? Bad history.
He's just a little like, I don't know. He would have to be perfect for Penn State fans to actually like embrace him. You know what I'm saying?
I think if we were getting like, if there would be news of Urban Meyer signing for Penn State, all those haters become fanatics of him. Like, they see everything he's done wrong just out the window. It's all right. Finger blasting girls, I don't care.
It would take like a couple weeks.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
he won like the first
2 weeks,
maybe a month at most. Yeah.
As soon as you hear like a top recruit come through and someone that you didn't think we could get from like Texas or from Florida, then you're like, all right, he's the guy. He's the guy.
Yeah,
sure.
That's the thing. I mean, a lot of people don't realize a lot of the guys that we have coming in, they'll probably just decommit because they're all Franklin guys. I mean, like, we do have some really good players coming in too. We have a pretty good quarterback coming in. I mean, the guy that we have backing up Clifford is not a bad quarterback in my opinion. He was thrown into the fire. Like, he's somebody you got a game plan for, and they just, they weren't ready for him to play. But I think he's only a freshman, so I mean,
we're gonna have to start we could start a freaking Penn State podcast.
I've been wanting to so bad, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I said, I hate Penn State, man. As much as I love them, they just piss me off so much.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship.
Yep. Bittersweet.
It's more hate.
Call it the Lions then.
More bitter, right, Joe? More bitter than sweet.
Yeah, it's just one of those like. They've never made me happy. So they've literally never made me happy. So the happiest moment that I have of being a Penn State fan is getting to see them play in the Tax Slayer Bowl. And they got blown out by Georgia. And then I think it was Clifford that came in towards the end and like also actually almost brought them back. But they lost. And yeah, that was like my
What
favorite
about the
moment
Rose
of the
Bowl?
Penn State. That was the worst game of my life. Having to sit there and watch Sam Bradford go out and kill us. Or not Sam Bradford, Sam Darnold. Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Man.
Sam Darnold put up like 3,000 yards in that game, bro. Like, I'm good. That shit pissed me off. Like, now I'm mad. Just think about it. Like, I'm about to go rewatch all 22 of that game 5 years ago. But,
Were you going to say something,
man,
AK? About the Rose Bowl or something, AK?
Oh, no, I was saying about the Rose Bowl when we won back in, like, what, 94, 95? That was a good year.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the most recent one.
No. We've had
I
good
still remember
moments.
when the best bowl Penn State can get was the Blockbuster Bowl.
Yeah. Like, we've had good moments.
Shout out to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Rest in
And
peace.
even going through like the I don't know how to say, like, the situation. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. When we were, suspended from the playoffs and everything, we were a good team, bro. Like, we were actually a good team. Like, Bill O'Brien, I hate him to death. Like, if I ever saw Bill O'Brien, I'd smack the shit out of him. Like, no joke. That's not even a joke. Like, I'd really fight Bill
You'd
O'Brien.
Redman his ass.
Like, I'd really fight Bill O'Brien. That's really one person. I'm like not a violent person or like a hateful person, but Bill O'Brien, the way he did our squad, bro, I hope the worst for him and everything that he does. But anyways, if you look at that team, Bill O'Brien had us like we were a playoff team, or we were a ranked team if we weren't, going the situation we were. Like, we were actually pretty decent. We were winning games. I think we were like, winning like 8 or 9 games every year. Like, that's actually pretty impressive if you consider none of these guys that originally declared to come to Penn State. Most of them left after the whole issue happened. So I mean, Penn State is a lot like Philly. Like, I'm proud to be a Eagles fan. I'm proud to be a Nets fan. Nets suck. Nets never win anything. Now we have something, and everybody says we're bandwagon fans. But the Nets ain't never win nothing in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm proud of these teams. Like, we want, I don't know. I'm one of those loyal to a fault type guys. Like, I see these teams doing well. I'm just like, yeah, that's my team. Like, finally, you know what I'm saying? Like, outside of the Yankees, and now I'm going through it with the Yankees. They suck now, but usually that was like the only team I ever really saw win championships until the Eagles won. So it'd be like that.
You've seen a few then with the Yankees, that's for sure.
Yeah, it felt good too. But now we ain't seen nothing in like 10 years. The
late 90s were the greatest times.
Point. It really was, dude. 97 to 2000. I was living the dream, bro.
But I will say the saddest time of my life was 2001 when Gonzo hit that damn home run. That was the worst.
What was the year that we went against Arizona?
That was 2001.
That was that year? I thought, that was just.
I'll never forget it. I was in a lunchroom. It was 9 o'clock at night. I was on my break. I cried because I heard it on the radio. I couldn't even watch the game. I couldn't watch the game. I was so sad. It was the first time I had a job. I was in my feelings.
I remember looking at my dad after that game and just be like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, dog, really, what happened? Or when we lost, when we were up 3-1 on the Red Sox.
Oh.
Bruh, that literally ended my life. Like, I'm no longer Joe Castro after that moment. Like, I feel like a different man. Like, that was the worst moment of my life, dude. People still bring that up to me. Like,
dude,
and I lived up north. I lived in Connecticut at that time.
The year before that season when Aaron Boone hit that home run at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes,
do you remember that?
Yes,
those were memories. And then after that,
I remember him walking off. I remember him walking with his arms out like, bitch. Like, yeah, bro. I mean, Yankees had some good moments. The Eagles had some really good moments too. I mean, we lost the 2004 Super Bowl, but that was a fun year, man. having T.O. and everything, that was a lot of fun to watch, dude. Like,
Yep.
you don't get moments like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't, like, if you're
kicking ass and taking names that year, we really were. You know, it was
and even
fun to
even
watch.
the Super Bowl, bro. Like, the Super Bowl, our Super Bowl, the only team that I can say will probably have the same elation as us is probably the Lions.
The Bills. I was at the Bills with the
I mean, the Bills made
four
it
straight
4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that sucks. That would they maybe, but I don't even think it's the same. Like, dude, like, we were waiting for that. Like, and we only had that one chance, and I feel like we all felt like that one chance was a little bit tainted. I don't want to say they cheated, but I felt like it was tainted. I definitely felt like it was very funny against the Patriots the first time. So to be able to not only win your first Super Bowl, but to win it against a team you feel like kind of cheated you, and to win it against the GOAT in his prime, and to kind of feel like you were the beginning of their demise. Because, like, after that, that's when the whole Patriots thing started. Like, they won another Super Bowl, but that was kind of like, oh, is Tom Brady going to leave? Tom Brady might not stay. Like, I kind of felt like we had a little part in that, and that felt good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, I'll never forget, you know, Donovan McNabb proving that, an NFL player can be throwing up on the field like Willie Beeman. That was the worst thing ever. And the fact that there was a denial.
Willie Beeman.
You know, we had Hollis Thomas on the show. We had Brandon did like an interview with Hollis Thomas, and he was talking about that year. He was talking about like T.O. and McNabb, and he literally said, like, legit, this is a quote from him. He was like, you know, honestly, to me, it was just two bitches that couldn't get along, talking about McNabb and T.O. And it's true. Like, you think about it, all these players, like, they probably were looking at this team like, yo, we're about to win a couple of championships. Like, we have a squad, and then that gets ripped away because Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb can't agree with Terrell Owens. Like, that's when McNabb was not McNabb, but Andy Reid. That was like the end of Andy Reid to me.
Let me ask you a question. You had Hollis Thomas on the show. Did you ever ask him about that incident in the locker room with T.O.?
I don't think. Well, I didn't do the interview. It was Brandon that did the interview.
Okay.
He asked him though. I gotta go reach what. It was a good interview. It was like 30 minutes. I gotta go.
That story is wild.
Soon. Yeah,
they said T.O. was a beast that day.
I'm sure. Look, bro. I blame us for the Terrell Owens situation, and maybe that's a jaded, you know, Eagles fan that is just hurt by this organization. But I do. I blame us because, like, I don't care what he did. If I'm being real with you, I don't care what he did. That man brought us to a Super Bowl, and when he got to, he didn't bring us. I won't say that. But when he did get to the Super Bowl, that man almost broke records with one leg. I don't care what he does off the field. You keep that man in Philly.
Yep.
Was it justified for him to ask for a contract so soon?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I think they should have given him the contract, you know what I mean? But I it's just the way everyone went about
it. You gotta have to pay him eventually. What'd you bring him here for? You gotta get
exactly.
You pay for production, and he's producing. So give him the money.
Well, that was Joe Banner being cheap. That's Joe Banner being cheap. But yeah, like if they would have paid him, you know, who's to say we would have did anything? Because again, you still had that contentious relationship with McNabb. For better or worse, McNabb wanted to be the guy, and Terrell was the guy, and he didn't like that, which is horrible. I mean, if they would have gotten along, we most likely would have went back to the Super Bowl the next year.
Yeah, facts, easily. And we probably would have blown teams up. Like, bro, that team was so stacked. Defense was so stacked. You know what I'm saying? So stacked. That defense was so stacked. And the offense actually had a weapon. Like, don't get me wrong. Westbrook's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, who was it? LJ Smith, I think, was our tight end at the time.
We finally had a legit number one receiver. Donovan never had that before.
Not even Foothills, not even a number one. We had a receiver. My guy, Donovan McNabb was throwing to Freddie Mitchell and Todd Pinkston for a majority of his career.
Yeah.
Like, while y'all hanging on James Thrash.
Irvin Fryer.
James Thrash. Oh, my God.
Wait, James what was the white boy's name? He came from St. Louis.
Riley. You're talking about?
No, he came from St. Louis. Nah.
I know what you're talking about.
The little guy.
What's his name?
He was very good. He was good with him. He was our number one receiver for a while. He came from St. Louis, and he was like their third receiver.
Forget I know exactly who you're talking about.
It's when we first started wearing the ugly ass Steagles one, the yellow and blue one. That's what. Oh man, what was his name? I hate not remembering names, but yeah, like McNabb had like a plethora of shit shows out there for quarterback, for wide receiver. It was sad.
Yeah, shout out to Todd Kingston too. He follows me on Twitter. So
Fred
hopefully
X.
he don't see this and he hears me talking junk.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who that was.
I want to say Samuel. Something with Samuel, but I know I'm wrong. Dag, man. And you know why? You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Cooper Kupp, and that's all I keep on thinking of is Cooper Kupp.
Right.
I feel like I'm seeing him in my face, in my head. Like I see him.
As soon as you say the name, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh." Damn, I don't know why I can't remember his name. He was a speedy little guy.
Kevin Curtis.
Kevin Curtis. There we
Kevin
go.
Curtis.
Yeah.
Yep.
He held it down. He held it down. But yeah,
he was kind of like a Danny Amendola type, kind of like that.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, before T.O., it was Kevin Curtis, and then you had Urban Fryer. Matter of fact, Urban Fryer wasn't here. But you had like one other receiver that was like Todd Pinkston,
Reggie
I guess.
Brown.
Were like his best.
Brown.
We had Greg Lewis.
Reggie Brown was pretty up there with receptions. Not in yards, but in receptions. Like he was used heavily.
We had Sean Scott.
Yeah.
I forgot about Sean Scott.
Chad Lewis and L.J. Smith.
We had some trash receivers, but the defense.
Wow.
We had the pervert Hank Basket. Sexually wild.
Hank Basket.
Yeah, Greg Lewis. He ended up being our wide receiver coach eventually too. After that, after he was, he was on the Super Bowl team. Greg Lewis caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl, did he not? I'm pretty sure he did.
Greg Lewis was rebirthed as Greg Ward Jr.
Yeah.
Facts.
Kevin,
but either way, man, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I'm glad. I know y'all were only supposed to go like another 15 minutes, and it's already almost like 1 o'clock out here. So
yeah, it's all good.
Appreciate you for coming through, Joe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, man, you too.
Peace.
All right, man. Yeah, so we should probably wrap this thing up. We've been on for quite a while now. We've been on for almost 4 hours. You guys got any closing comments, or you just want to let everybody know where they can find you at, all that good stuff? The floor is yours, AK.
Hey, I'm AK Eagles. I may fuss and cuss, but you can count on me and my content like the fucking city bus. And if you like the Wagyu, subscribe too. Thanks for having me on, man. Love doing this with you guys. And amazing conversation tonight. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, shout out to Castro for sliding through and having a little debate with our guy here, Vic 3.
Oh, I'm gonna be the one. If Meshu starts and they all goes to shit, I'm gonna be the first one. Just like Mike didn't believe me, so I had to come back and be like, "I told you so." Come on, your boy knows what he's talking about.
All right, well, Vic, you want to let them know where they can find you at? Any closing comments? Let them know.
I just say everyone just be patient. Stop with the wild takes. You know what I mean? Again, it's an evaluation season. We got to evaluate what we have. And you know who it is, man. It's Vic 3. See me in the chat. See me on Twitter. You catch me here with my guys on the Eats Meets West, and you will also catch me after every Eagles game on my post-panel show, also accompanied by hopefully my guys and other great Eagles content creators. And listen, subscribe to the guys, like, share, and every Eagles content creator. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? Other people might not mess with them, but if you share that content, you're exposing them to someone who would have never seen it before. So everyone have a good night. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Fellas, it's been another great show. Thank y'all.
Definitely. Well said, guys. Absolutely. And I want to thank everybody for being in the live stream with us tonight. Like I always say, you guys are the food and the water to the channel. Without you, this thing does not continue to survive. So if you're feeling the vibe, please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to keep our dreams alive. Make sure you're subscribed to not only myself, the Nest Out West, but also Eagles Uncensored podcast with my guy here, AK Eagles. And also make sure you're subscribed, turn on that notification bell for all three of us. Make sure you're subscribed to Vic 3 as well, because we're doing big things. This was a great, midweek kind of crisis, East Meets West podcast. So Love doing this thing with you guys. I'm really enjoying it. And until next time, we fly until we die. Stay mean, stay green. Thanks for viewing us on your screen. But most importantly, keep it fuego. Peace, y'all.
And then everyone have a good one.
Love y'all. Thank you so much for all your support for all of us.
Shout out to Castro for coming through.
Absolutely. We're going to get through these tough times. Always keep strong.
Hey, man, we've been here before. We've lost many games. It's only going to keep on happening. It's a
Absolutely.
process. It's a process. I'm not going to say the trust part, but it's a process.
Go Birds. Keep it strong. Keep the faith. Love all you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.